Ah, fuck. Just sitting over here fucking jamming out. Still trying to figure out why, fuck. I'm still trying to sit over here trying to figure out why I can't get audio on an OBS in my pre-streaming thing. I don't know. Meh, whatever. Fuck it. We have a lot to go over tonight. I'm just trying to summon all the moderators and shit. This has been, well, fuck, I need to adjust my levels some. Holy fuck, that music is loud. Let me see what it looks like now. What's going on, Jamie? How you doing? I think I fixed YouTube now. Fuck, where's my... Speaking of YouTube, I want to make sure that my audio levels are right on there. What's going on, Jamie? Nah, my background music ain't coming through. See if that's any better. I ain't done one of these in a while, so I have to troubleshoot this shit. I ain't done one of these in a while, so I have to troubleshoot this shit. Okay, so now I'm echoing. Test. Alright, let's see how that sounds. I ain't done one of these in a while, so I have to troubleshoot this. Fuck, I'd be better off just pulling it up on my computer. I can't hear shit on my phone. Before I get too far, I got some very important stuff to cover on this stream. I want to make sure that I do it right. I can't even type my YouTube channel's name in and find myself. How badly does this website hate me? Fuck me. Fuck me. Still have no background music for some reason. What in the hell? Alright, well, I'm gonna try something else, I guess. This is some bullshit, man. Why the fuck don't I have my background music, dog? This is some bullshit, man. Why the fuck don't I have my... Alright, cool. That... Whatever. I'm not even gonna get started. Fuck. Alright, let's see what my fucking people got to say. My fucking staff members that I'm like... Alright, so 2.0's not gonna make it. Taco's not gonna make it. Quack's fucking AWOL. Let's see here. Can I make this lighting just a little better? Looks a little warmer like that. Jesus Christ. How about I try that, Alexa? Shut the fuck up. Alright, so my wrist check for the day. Invicta Pro Diver. Cheapo fucking $40 dive watch. Alright, so we have a lot to talk about today, so I guess while I'm waiting for somebody to get off their ass and join, in a minute I'm just going to go ahead and give Quack a call. You're right. You're right, Gutierrez. You're 100% right. Forgive me, I'm just coming down from a really bad flu. So if my voice sounds off or I'm coughing occasionally or whatever, then that's why, okay? I just want to be upfront with you guys about that. So we have to talk about Ukraine, and I've been wanting to talk about Ukraine on a Kekfest for like a month, and we're gonna have to talk about that. And there's a lot to talk about, and there is no way that we can possibly cover it all on this shitty stream. But we're at least going to acknowledge it. What else? Well, we're going to talk about Will Smith and the hypocrisy behind Hollywood. And probably the most important to me, and what should be the most important to you guys, aside from maybe Ukraine, I'm going to talk about GM, General Motors. And I'm going to talk about the bailout that happened in 2008 at the taxpayers' expense. And I'm going to talk about how, regardless of anything, they still sold out to China. And because of this, I will never, I repeat, I will never, ever, 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 with the exception of 2 cars, buy a GM that was made after 2008. Ever. There's a lot of vehicles that I liked previously that have now been put on my list of I hate them just as much as I hate a Hyundai or a Kia or a Volvo. Because of the fuckery that GM pulled. This is something that should be being talked about nationally. Let's see. Hey, you're coming in kind of low.
Is that better?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
What's good?
Hey, are you a Chevy guy?
Not really. I'm a Mercury guy.
My man. We're not allowed to be Chevy people here.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
And we'll get into that on the stream. And this is something that I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet, so this is something that you'll probably be finding out for the first time today. Actually, you know what? I'm going to briefly summarize it now. We'll talk about it in more detail later. But, you know the bailout that happened in 2008?
Yeah.
Well, while Chevy was being bailed out by American taxpayers, they were also being bailed out by China in secret. Yup. To the tune of I think it was $68 million or $68 billion or something like that. The Shanghai, I think it's like the Shanghai Automobile Corporation or whatever, owns a majority share in all Chevy operations outside the U.S. Our Cadillacs and our Chevy cars are being imported from China. Like, they're making them over there and bringing them here. And selling them to us as American cars. Isn't that some shit?
How are they getting away with that?
I don't even know the answer to that question. I have an article that I'll go through and that I'll read, but that's the summary of it, and I don't know how they're getting away with it. But I think this is something that everybody in the United States needs to know about, and this is something that we should all be talking about, and this is something that absolutely none of us should accept. I mean, I guess if you still buy a Chevy or a GM, now when I say GM, when I say Chevy, I'm really talking about GM, and that includes. Yeah, that includes brands like Buick, Chevy. I don't know if Dodge is GM or not. Let's find out. Let's see, here's something about the entire portfolio of GM brands. They got Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, OnStar, AC Delco. I didn't know they owned AC Delco. Wow. Damn, I'm gonna have to boycott some decent batteries. But yeah.
Give me my ever start bitches.
Duralast, boy.
Right.
Built to last. So, yeah, I don't think GM owns Dodge. So if you're a Dodge guy, you're safe. For now. Same with Chrysler. If you know, I mean, Chrysler and Dodge are the same fucking thing. But, yeah.
Jesus Chrysler's.
So, yeah. There was a YouTube video that I watched, and I'm not gonna like play it for you guys because I feel like one person on YouTube playing a YouTube video of another YouTuber is kind of pointless. I'm like, you know, you just as well go watch that guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link to this video to the Facebook page and to the announcement channel on Discord after the stream. It's a YouTube video. It's about a 20-minute long podcast. And this guy talks about all the different ramifications that come from China owning GM, essentially. Like, he goes into some shit that, like, I would have never fucking thought about when it came to this, you know? Like, he went into some shit about it that, like, I don't know enough about the car industry to know about. Like, it's a very informative, intelligent, and educational video. So, rather than trying to regurgitate his video on my fucking channel like a bunch of other people try to do, I'm gonna just give you guys the source. And I'll read that article later. I am gonna go over, I'm gonna look through some of these articles. Let's see here. Local beat, we don't have anything on the local beat. Bullshit, we don't have anything on the local beat. There's an article I could pull up right now that I'm gonna throw in there. I'm surprised Bryce didn't put that article in there. I'm gonna have to slap him later for that. There was a last week, the weekend that I was sick, there was a shooting at the mall where I live.
That sounds fun.
Let's see here. We got, what do we got in big news? ISIS leader killed in special operations raid in Syria. Well, too bad that's been overshadowed by Putin. Ukrainian soldiers do what?
I said I'm wondering if we're going to cover something because I'm curious and didn't educate myself on it.
Okay. What is it?
I guess there was an American that got shot down in a chopper over there.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a civilian or not, but supposedly, yeah, there was an American in a chopper that was Like it had no guns or nothing, and they shot it down.
Jeez. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give Quack a call because he's supposed to be here.
Well, I was looking at the top of the screen over here on the right. It doesn't show him under senior mods or nothing.
What, did he leave the server?
I didn't see that either. I've been looking this whole time. He could just be offline with that big ass list.
I mean, he'd be on as Robert Paulson.
That's wrong. Yep, he's still there. He's just offline.
Yeah, he says he's 5 minutes out. Well, while you are at it, me and Taco have a request. Period. Apparently there was an American in a helicopter that was killed in Ukraine. Period. If you could find me an article on that, that would be great. Thanks. Period. Whoo, geez. Okay. Russian ship that fired on fuck yourself Ukrainians destroyed, apparently. I don't know, that headline is kind of shitty, doesn't tell me much. But we'll look at it because it's big news. Let's see here. We got informative articles, which those are personally my favorite. We got baleen whales have an oral plug that helps them guzzle down food. SpaceX loses 40 satellites after geomagnetic storm hits Earth.
That's a loss.
Let's see. We have an ice shelf in Antarctica's coldest region that collapsed. Let's see. In entertainment news, well, personally my least favorite category, but we still have it. Dad shields son from angry rodeo bull. And Triple H announces his retirement from wrestling. Jeez, I didn't know that guy was still going. He was wrestling when I was a fucking kid.
Yeah. And not to mention, what's his face from the Foo Fighters died.
Well, we hadn't got to the death news yet. That's a different category.
Oh, I thought that was the same category. Entertainment.
Let's see. Gaming board tracks down Las Vegas $229,000 jackpot winner after the slot machine malfunctioned. 80-year-old nun gets a year in prison for stealing $835,000 from school.
Wow.
She looks like kind of a twat too.
That doesn't look like very godlike. That ain't very saintly.
And we got, why will Martha is Dead be censored on PlayStation? I think the better question is, why would I care if anything's censored on PlayStation? Good Samaritan provides cover fire to rescue wounded deputies. 12-year-old girl shoots 14-year-old boy and self on Instagram live.
Wow. What, like on purpose?
No, but we'll get to that if, the people listening stick around long enough for us to get to that article. They'll find out. That's how we retain people, Taco.
Yes. Find out tonight at 11.
You'll find out on the next commercial break. Oh God, we need to get into radio.
By the way, the time is 10:36, and it's gonna snow off and on for the next couple hours over here. You're over here.
So, Jamie was telling me that whenever we have a Kekfest, like, his entire fucking work crew listens. Which I didn't realize that. I kind of feel a little bit bad for not doing one in the last 2 months now. I didn't realize him and all his a-hole buddies sit around the fucking water cooler listening to my shitty talk show. But yeah, I'm going to have to actually get off my ass and do my job.
Aren't they supposed to be putting out fires and shit?
They don't fight fires. That's Bryce.
Whatever. Somebody's a fucking firefighter.
Speaking of Bryce, where the fuck's he been? I ain't heard from him in ages. I mean, I know he's been posting articles, but I ain't heard fuck all from him in forever. Oh, jeez. Okay. So... I don't know that any of these Ukraine articles and big news are big news. So I don't know that I'm going to go into them specifically. Because I feel like the entire fucking thing that is happening is big news. And to be honest with you, the results of some of the stuff that's been happening has actually been surprising to me. Historically speaking, when we put sanctions on Russia or China or anybody, like, nobody gives a shit. You know, it's like, well, slap on the wrist. Like, that's bad, okay? And that's about the beginning and the end of it.
For real.
But that's been a completely fucking different story with Russia. The sanctions that they have put on Russia, I do believe are having an effect. Whether or not it's the effect we want remains to be determined, but I do believe it's having an effect. And I didn't think it would. So, I mean, a couple months ago, I was sitting here saying, like, Putin's not going to give a fuck about some sanctions. And to be honest with you, he still probably doesn't. But everybody else around him does. I mean, we're seeing fucking major companies, like major fucking companies, like McDonald's and Coca-Cola and...
What about McDonald's?
I'm talking about Ukraine.
Oh.
It might help for you to, like, listen for a minute so you know what I'm talking about.
He heard McDonald's and was like...
Huh?
I mean, I just smashed me a fucking plate of carne asada fries, like... I don't need me no McDonald's right now. Maybe in like an hour or two.
That doesn't mean you couldn't stuff some fries into that fat dick holster of yours.
I just did. I just did you not understand about carne asada fries?
Nope. What I don't understand is how you can be like fat enough to have your own gravitational pull and sit there and tell me, oh yeah, I can't eat anymore. Yeah, you can.
Because I actually have, like, tried to make myself not eat as much because, you know, the fact that I'm fat.
Well, not eating is not what makes you skinny. It's a combination of, like, working out, physical activity, and healthy eating.
I didn't say I was not eating. I said I was just making myself not eat as much. There's a big difference.
I didn't hear anything about the Russians pulling back today. I will tell you one thing that I have noticed, though. The fuel prices have actually been going back down a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, it was like, at least where I live, it was like almost $4 at the pump. And then during the weekend, it was like $3.40. So, naturally, I had to go fuel up every vehicle I got. Like, I'll get it when it's 60 cents less. Like, what's up? I have heard, now I don't know much about it, and I'll admit, because there's so much going on in Ukraine right now, that it's hard to follow it all. But I was listening to some news thing last night about, like, Vladimir Putin is trying to negotiate something.
Yeah, I just seen a thing on the news that said that Putin agreed to lessen the presence of his troops in the northern Ukraine, and apparently the Ukraine has been considering.
I gotta take this call. Hold on a second.
They've been like facilitating like
Hello?
the idea of basically of possibly
Yeah?
handing over the eastern Donbass region of the Ukraine over to Russia. In return, you know, though, Russia would have to end the war completely.
Russia's not going to pull out with something to show.
Okay, so I gotta go down there. Like, I don't have any
Ukraine,
contacts with
they're
anybody
going to
out
hit
there.
fucking Germany.
No, I don't know anybody out there.
No. Again, you're not listening.
No,
the
he
possible
doesn't. Like, that's
agreement is
Randy's
that
site. He's got all the
Ukraine will
contacts. I don't know
basically
anybody
hand
out
over
there.
half of the country, because the Donbass region takes up about a solid, like, at least a third.
If I need to do something, let me know.
And they're willing to hand it over to Russia, basically letting them annex that part of fucking Ukraine in exchange for ending the war completely, and then also guaranteeing the sovereignty of what is left of the Ukraine.
Well, I don't know, and I have a contact list buried in my email somewhere, but I don't know how up to date that is, or if the learned people are on there, or what's up with it.
I didn't know that. Do you really think he's gonna take it though?
Hell no. That motherfucker wants it all or nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. It's all or nothing.
He's lost too much already.
Yeah, no. At this point, honestly, if he doesn't pull out, though, his own country is going to revolt.
Bye.
Well, they're already started. But he's sanctioning that shit. It's weird. He's got them, like, it's on lockdown.
Dude, I'm getting calls from work and shit, so if I end up having to, like, make some inquiries, I'm not going to leave, but if I've got to, like, make some inquiries, I'll just, I don't know. I may have to take calls every now and again. Apparently we're having outages all over the place because of this fucking storm.
Put the Kekfest video on.
Well, I mean, I could just have you guys talk about whatever when I'm making inquiries, but...
Me and Taco can both hit.
But the fact of the matter is I may end up having to call one of the facilities that I work with and verify, like, I guess they're having a power outage or something.
We'll tell them to turn it back on. We got a Kekfest.
Well, it might come to that, and then if they can't turn it back on, then, well, they can wait until the end of the Kekfest, and I'll drive out there and fucking do it. It's like 2 hours away, but whatever, fuck it. So yeah, I was saying that at first I was saying, initially, early on in the conflict, I was saying the sanctions wouldn't have any effect, but I was proven pretty fucking wrong by that.
Well, I knew it was getting serious when Switzerland poked their head into it and started sanctioning them.
Oh yeah, when Switzerland decides you've gone too far, you know you fucked up.
Well, no, dude. What really got me was the Taliban.
Wait, hold on. Fucking what now?
The Taliban issued a fucking statement saying, "Hey, man, you're going awfully hard. You should probably think about chilling out and shit."
The Taliban.
The Taliban.
We're talking about the same fucking ragged and dope fucking AK-47 using motherfuckers that bombed the fucking World Trade Center and all that good shit. Russia.
We're talking about the terrorist organization that spent the last 20 years getting its ass kicked by us.
Yeah.
Told Russia
the same. Yes, told Russia, "Hey, bro, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you should definitely stop."
If anybody knows what our weaponry is capable of, it would be the Taliban.
That's a fair point, yeah.
Speaking of weapons capabilities, the Air Force has fucking impressed the shit out of me.
So I actually did look it up, and like, dude, you did not do that thing justice.
I'm giddy as a schoolgirl over this.
Homie, that thing is legitimately terrifying.
I'm like, yeah, that's my jam.
Like when I looked it up, it's legitimately terrifying. And then after looking it up and then thinking about the other concept that me and you had been discussing, it made it that much more terrifying.
So, I wasn't planning on talking about this on the Kekfest, but since it's come up, the Air Force, and this is something I've been following a little bit. I still have people who are in the military that I talk to. So, like, I get a little bit of a scoop, you know? The Air Force has been, they've been coming up with, hold on a second. Y'all can talk for a little bit. I gotta take this call again. Hello?
What is it that he's talking about?
So, well, I don't want to. I'm not going to go too into it, so he still can explain it a little. Excuse me. Basically, though, it's something called a fucking Christ. It's called the fucking Rapid Dragon Cruise Missile Deployment System.
Oh.
I could just call their.
Basically,
I can. This probably just Google the facility number and call
drop
them.
Like 30 to 45 nuclear armed warheads to foreheads in like 10 minutes.
That's dangerous.
Let me repeat that number in case you didn't hear me. 30.
Okay, now am I talking about verifying power to the facility or to the UPS?
I'm assuming that's the different payload.
Yeah, that's depending on if they do the full fucking, the full fucking payload. Because like, the way to look at it is it's five pallets, and there's 6 to 9 missiles per pallet.
Holy shit!
And yeah, I just don't know where that equipment is, so I don't know what to tell them over the phone when it comes to restarting.
And then, like I said, could have a nuclear payload.
Man, I'm in the middle of a broadcast.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Wow.
And they drop these pallets.
Okay, I'll call her, I guess.
So, like,
yeah.
Like I said, like 6 to 9 missiles per pallet.
Yeah.
So 30 to 45 missiles, realistically speaking, can be dropped out of the back of that fucking AC-130 in like 10 minutes.
That's brutal.
Mm-hmm. Fucking new meaning to warheads on foreheads, dude.
I'm assuming if we got something like that, they do too, though.
Not necessarily. We have those fucking weird like V-shaped stealth bombers, but I don't think Russia got them bitches too.
Hey, Deb, sorry to call you at this
But
hour.
they do have a czar.
I guess they're having an issue in Larned, and they want power verified, and I don't know.
And I'm assuming they've gone bigger since then.
I mean, if they haven't, I'd be worried. Like, not for us. But
yeah,
like
well, I'm not familiar enough with that facility to call them and tell the person on the phone exactly what they need to do.
What was the...
Yeah.
I was just thinking, that's fucking devastation, man.
Yeah.
40 fucking nukes.
Yeah. That thing
well,
could
potentially, but
that thing
still.
could like easily one tap a fucking strike group in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Okay.
Dude, that could take out a whole cluster of cities. Not just city, but cities.
Like, it wouldn't just take out the city, but it would take out like the greater area. Like, if that shit fucking, like, for instance, if that shit hit LA, it would take out, like, LA, it would basically take out the entirety of Orange County and LA County.
Okay.
And that's just one AC-130?
Uh-huh, yeah. One AC-130 can hold 5 pallets of those missiles with the deployment system. So now imagine if
well,
it's like
I could call the site, but the problem is I don't know where the UPS is in there. I don't know what to tell them.
A sky of pistols.
Well, I don't know, because you know as well as I do that a nuke isn't going to explode until it reaches its destination. So if you shoot an AC-130 down...
Can we reduce the priority of the ticket then, so that my dispatch people aren't freaking out?
They have to have them.
No, I mean, if you were smart and tactical, you wouldn't load, like, say you were throwing out 1,000 AC-130s.
Yeah,
well,
you'd probably
10
like
have the payload, right?
Yeah, you'd have like 10 of them.
I'm not sure what to say to them, but they told me to reach out to you so that I could get the information I need to reach out to them.
Some kind of like fucking napalm or white phosphorus.
Yeah, so that I could tell them to reset the UPS or whatever it is we gotta do, or what. I don't know.
What is that? Like 45,000 white phosphorus cruise missiles dropped on your country?
Which is just as devastating.
Larned. LA.
I don't know. I'm kind of like that Rise of the Cobra thing too. I don't know if you guys watch that G.I. Joe.
I don't know. Whoever's in the tickets right now, I could give you her number if you want.
United States launches all their nukes at everybody, dude. They're like,
it's gonna be
like actually,
like full launch, all of
937-546-8463.
And so Germany shoots theirs, Russia shoots theirs, China shoots theirs, India shoots theirs. They're all gone. Every nuke in the world is shot. And America looks over at everybody and just shuts them all down. Like, all right.
I'm not sure who it is because she didn't tell me her name.
So they just destroyed all their nukes. They got nothing. And then, they're just going back and forth, and then eventually everybody fucking, blows their nukes up, and, the world is now no more nukes. And then they drop this new weapon that's like shooting tungsten rods from the
that's the thing is I'm in the middle of a broadcast right now, so I need to get this resolved.
With no fallout?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking... If you've never seen Rise of the Cobras, dude, watch it. Just like that
badass weapon.
Yeah, dude, that scene alone was
like when you say it causes nuclear devastation without the fallout, we're talking it goes big boom, like it fucking annihilates everything within that certain meter, like whatever, and like fucking
they hit the polar cap in the movie and it destroyed it.
Okay.
But there was no like nuclear fallout.
Yeah, 0 nuclear fallout.
Yeah,
But if we
it's
ever
because
invent
people are
shit
too
like that,
cheap
you
to
know
buy
damn well the
UPSs
next
and
day
put
the
them in
fucking
there.
Earth's gone, right?
Oh,
More
yeah.
than likely. Well,
Like,
I don't know.
fuck the
I
next
don't
day.
know. Like some
Honestly,
of this
if that
stuff
shit
is
ever
hooked
comes
up to
out, bro, like
facility
I give it a day
UPSs. Like
before
I don't know
fucking
how it's set up there.
one of us countries is blowing the other one up, and then it's, you know what I mean?
Well, supposedly it's about the weight and the speed that it hits Earth, that it just creates like asteroid.
Huh. That makes sense, actually. That'd have to be a lot of tungsten though, because it'd have to also weigh a lot.
Well, it's this huge rod. Like the movie doesn't do it justice until it does this pan out, but it's fucking huge.
I guess I mean you can say
Like,
whatever
I
you
don't
want
even
to
think there's
say,
that
but
much tungsten on
I don't
Earth.
I don't know the way to word it.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a movie, of course, but
Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, obviously in a movie,
Okay.
like, it's one thing, but like realistically speaking, I don't think there's actually enough tungsten on Earth.
Okay.
Like, it'd have to be made of like a tungsten alloy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, it would have to have like, it'd have to have
Yeah,
iron.
I don't know. I
bronze,
don't
and,
keep
like,
track
all
of their
kinds other shit
schedules,
added
but
to it.
Well, hell, you shoot hard enough, you could probably do it with fucking
all
aluminum.
right.
Yeah, that's a fair.
Well,
point.
if
I
you
mean,
end
hard
up
and
needing
fast
me to
enough, it
roll,
doesn't
let me
matter
know.
what it's made out of. It can be made out of fucking clay.
Okay.
That's what she said.
All right.
I'm sorry, bro. You set that up too perfect.
Okay.
Like, you were getting so detailed, bro, and it just got
All right.
better.
Sweet.
And better.
You too.
Oh,
Bye.
But yeah, if you've
Jesus
never seen
Christ.
that, I would love to fucking send it to you, dude. But yeah, you should definitely check that scene out
All
if
right,
you're not
so-
going to watch the movie.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What? Okay, so did Quack adequately explain the Air Force thing? Because I wasn't listening to it because I was in a phone call with.
He explained the system, but he didn't do anything else.
Okay.
Basically, I explained what it is, and like, I gave them like the first 3 messages you sent me.
Let me see if I can go into a little bit better detail. Okay. So they are talking about weaponizing cargo planes. Like they've got the big cargo plane that carries a bunch of crap, and then they have like the C-130.
Yes.
So basically, they take these JSAM, which I believe are the ASM-158 cruise missiles that they've recently been coming out with.
Yeah, the ones that they're playing with.
And these have like stealth capabilities where they're not detectable by radar, and they fly really low, like below radar systems, and they can be controlled in mid-flight, and yeah, they're badass, and they have a range of like 650 miles. So in the C-130, they're talking. We'll use that as the example right now. They got the bigger pallets. Like in the bigger cargo plane, you can hold 9 missiles per pallet. But in the C-130, you can hold 6. And basically how the system works is like while they're in the middle of flying, they'll program these missiles to go after whatever target they're going to go after. And then they open up the cargo door, push a button, and a parachute activates on the back of the pallet, dragging the pallet out of the plane. And the pallet will point downwards. Like it will point the missiles downwards when it swings out the back of the plane. And the missiles will just slide out that motherfucker. And then they will they will glide for a short amount of time until the wind from them pretty much falling or gliding activates the fucking booster, the engine, and then they can fly on their little happy little way to their happy little targets. And the C-130, I think, is capable of carrying like 5 pallets. And
that's per C-130.
Yes. And, I mean, normally you wouldn't use a cargo plane in offensive operations, but these things have a range of like 650 miles. So the plane could be well and pretty well goddamn far away from the fight. And out of harm's way, mostly. Now, something that they haven't talked about, but something that a lot of these cruise missiles are capable of carrying nuclear payloads. Would not be incredibly hard to convert a JSAM into a nuclear payload if they haven't already. So, what that entails is that basically implies you'd have a C-130 cargo plane that could take out like half a country. Which, I mean, you think about all the different...
It wouldn't be able to half a country. I mean, again, everybody looks at nukes like they're fucking stupid, dumb, powerful. They're not taking out states, they're taking out cities.
Well, they're not taking out states instantly. But through fucking all the pollution and radioactive fallout and everything else that comes with it, yeah, they will.
Yeah.
And they will take out all the fucking infrastructure around there, and they will put your bitch ass in the dark age. So they just as well have taken out the fucking state. Anyways, it's not even that. It's like, that's not the only like capabilities that makes this thing crazy. Like the amount of like different varieties of payloads that you could put on these fucking cruise missiles. I mean, we're talking like, you know, put some bunker penetrating tips on those motherfuckers.
Like bunker buster type shit.
Yeah. Like, it's not just nuclear capabilities. So, that's kind of, you know, I don't know. It's really fucking cool. And if the target that they are trying to like shoot a missile at is destroyed in the middle of the flight, they can send coordinates or programming to a different fucking target. And that cruise missile will change direction and go after that target instead.
I'm assuming with enough headroom though.
Yeah, if it's got enough fuel or whatever. But that is stupid fucking efficient.
And scary.
And they could also outright cancel the fucking, they could cancel the fucking launch. Yeah, right. Like they could have the missile destroy itself in mid-flight if they decide they don't want to destroy whatever the target is anymore for whatever reason.
The only thing that I can think of would be civilian.
A couple months ago, they conducted a successful test. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You imagine how much of this you could fit in the back of a B-52. I don't know. I'm giddy as a schoolgirl when it comes to blowing things up. And I particularly enjoy it when you can do it efficiently.
Right. Have you seen G.I. Joe 2 Rise of the Cobras?
I don't know. I've seen a couple of G.I. Joe movies. I don't know specifically which ones.
It was the live action one, the second.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen a G.I. Joe movie in over 20 years.
And I don't know if it's that old.
Did Quack tell you about a little idea that I came up with?
No, he didn't go into details.
Well, I was thinking about a possibility of modifying this pallet system to drop torpedoes.
What, kind of like Pearl Harbor did?
Like out of the back of a V-22 Osprey. Like, they would drop a fucking pallet of torpedoes into the water.
Wait a second. Did you just say an Osprey?
Yeah. I fucking hate the Osprey, but that's the cargo helicopter they're moving to now, so...
Well, I mean, if you're also talking about torpedoes, I mean, wow, dude, you can put a lot of torpedoes in that bitch.
Yeah. You could probably put 3 or 4 pallets in there. Now, and these, like, the standard modern day torpedo has a range of about 30 miles, which
is crazy when you think about it.
Not really. I mean, you gotta think, the Osprey has to get within 30 miles of the fleet they're trying to drop these torpedoes into.
Yeah, but you're also talking about treading water versus treading air.
I mean, treading air is a lot easier.
That's what I'm saying. So 30 miles in water, that's pretty decent, dude.
Yeah,
that puts you completely out of the fucking fight.
Well, no, your surface-to-air missiles could easily take out those Ospreys.
No, I'm talking about like, for instance, if you were 30 miles out and dropped them just out of, in range.
Yeah,
you're out that fight.
Your surface-to-air missiles can fucking, they can paint and they can shoot down an Osprey at that range.
Really?
Yeah. But where I think that this would work is that if they saw an Osprey flying around, they probably wouldn't paint it because it's a fucking transport helicopter and not like a gunship. And that'd be a pretty good way to take a motherfucker by surprise. But then I got to thinking even more, right? And maybe we could just take the Osprey out of the equation entirely with this idea. And this would be expensive. Like, this would not be something that you would deploy, like, whimsically. But I was thinking about, what if we had a torpedo with, like, a miniaturized, scaled-down nuclear reactor in it?
Wait,
yeah, just think about this. Think about how efficient nuclear energy is, right? Like, if they had a miniaturized, scaled-down version of a nuclear reactor that could fit in a torpedo. The big problem with the torpedo's fucking range is, like, fuel. It takes a lot of fuel and energy to traverse water. So what if you used nuclear energy? And you had a torpedo that could possibly traverse the stretch of the entire, like, Pacific Ocean or whatever. Like, what if you had a torpedo that could travel, like, 5,000 nautical miles?
How do you do that, though? Like, I see the concept, and I get where you're going with it, but how do you hit a target from that far away? I mean, it's going to change course twice before.
We have fucking satellite and GPS guidance systems and all this other shit. I mean, we could practically blow the fly off of an ass with a cruise missile from halfway across the world. I'm sure we could figure out how to shoot a torpedo halfway across the world.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, there's pings and all of that you need just to fucking survive, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the modern day torpedoes have all that shit on them. Like,
yeah.
Like they have small scaled down sonar systems and shit that they can avoid.
We also don't have them explode on contact anymore.
No, we have them explode fucking, like, near it and, like, use pressure to destroy shit. And there's no reason why we couldn't do that with this torpedo. But I'm just saying, if we had a way to, like, put a damn near limitless energy source in that motherfucker to get it to travel really, really far. Like,
what about make it bigger but keep the same payload?
You could have, well, if you make it bigger, then that's going to take away the stealth possibilities of it. Like right now with how modern torpedoes work, you know, they're pretty well invisible to like the submarines' radars and shit. Like, you don't know that a fucking like in a real life submarine battle, like you don't know that a torpedo is going to hit you until you can't do shit about it.
Well, I know that if it's sub-on-sub action and you guys are within range of each other, you can hear it fire.
Yeah, but they don't fight within range of each other really anymore. Like, that's how submarine warfare worked in World War II. Like, when you got torpedoes that can go 30 miles, you don't need to do that anymore. You'll just fucking hear a sonar ping fucking 20 miles away, and you're like, oh, there's a submarine over there. Let's shoot a torpedo at it.
Right.
And that submarine will not know that the torpedo is coming until there's absolutely nothing they can do about it.
No, but they will for sure know they've been pinged.
Yeah, but they've also been painted and it's too late.
Well, you change courses in the midst of that ping, they won't know where you are. That's what's cool about a submarine. That's why submarine warfare is the shit. Because it pinged 20 miles away, you change course.
The torpedoes fucking have, I don't know, they have all these advanced systems on them that detect all the submarine cavalcading and shit. Like, I was reading a big article about it earlier and was like, wow, you know?
That's amazing. Now, I want to learn more about that, actually.
I could send you that article later if I could find it. Like, these torpedoes could practically blow the fucking tail off a fish at like 20 miles away or whatever, you know? Like, they're ridiculously smart and accurate and precise, and they can go like 60 miles an hour, so they're also like faster than most vessels can move.
Yeah, 60 miles an hour. Not knots.
Yeah. Well, even if it was 60 knots, like,
I mean, that's still fast, but it ain't 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, but most vessels aren't going faster than 30.
Yeah, I was going to say 35.
Like on the ship I was on, the fastest we ever got it was like 29, and that was with the wind to our back.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know. I think carriers are rumored to be able to go 50. But still.
And I bet that's everything moving, though.
Yeah, that's everything turning and burning and reactors at 110% or whatever.
I wonder what that's for.
What?
I wonder why they would have a ship that fast.
Oh, the carriers?
Yeah, well, to me it doesn't make sense because you don't want your carrier out by itself. And if it's out front, it's fucking the target.
Well, they didn't design it to go that fast. It just has the capabilities to because of the nuclear reactor that provides so much more power than you can possibly fathom with diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, the fastest your carrier is typically going to move is 20 knots. But the fact of the matter is, if they absolutely have to, they can. And I was listening to fucking sea stories and shit, like people who are on carriers talk about, like, when they were coming home from deployment, how fast they could get that motherfucker. So, I don't know. But
I'm surprised they allowed that.
hey, captain of the ship fucking says, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The captain was like, fuck it, let's go full blast, hard over, let's go.
I mean, he wanted to go home. If you have the ability to say, let's get this motherfucker turning and burning and let's go home, wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah.
You'd be like, fuck it. We're going to go to the yard for damn near 2 years anyways. I don't care if we break anything. Max that bitch out. That's how my ship was coming back from deployment too. They had that fucking they had the fucking rudders at full the whole way.
Like at night, just cruising.
Day, night, just had that fucking engine turning as fast as it could. As fast as you could get that motherfucker. Lever cranked all the way down. Let's get this motherfucker home. The other thing is they'll also have like deadlines, and that's where you'd want a ship that can go pretty fast sometimes. Is they're like, you know, you got to be in this port at this time, and there are some places that, like, if you don't pull into port at the time that you're fucking supposed to be there, like, you don't pull in.
Why?
They don't let you? I don't know.
The same reason that you can't fucking pull into, like, a distribution center with your semi-truck, you know, fucking hours before your fucking payload delivery. Like, it's the same thing. Like, they're not ready for you.
Right.
Like, they have to have tugs out there and shit. Like,
well, and all that means is you just tread deeper water for a minute.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying, ships have been told to fuck off, especially in foreign ports.
That's sweet.
Let's see. So if, well, the implications with this like smart torpedo that I'm talking about, like if you put a reactor on that motherfucker,
What?
you wouldn't even have to drop it from an aircraft or launch it from a ship. Like, you could have a platform shoot that bitch from the shore. Be like in California and shoot that bitch from the shore and take out a Chinese ship that's halfway between Hawaii and here. God damn it. Alright, so now that we've gotten through Ukraine, I think we'll probably come back to that knowing us. We've kind of partially covered GM. How have you been, Quack?
Tired.
That it?
Yeah.
Nothing you want to add to it?
Not why you're tired, just tired.
Nope, just tired. I've just been fucking working, dude. Being a fucking, being a functioning adult.
Are you still doing that grocery store thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Surprised you haven't been fired yet.
No, I'm actually getting promoted.
Oh, jeez.
What are you gonna be? Head of lettuce?
Here.
Head of lettuce.
Shut the fuck up.
It's like he's getting promoted from bathroom technician to grill technician.
HVAC technician.
Shut the fuck up.
I fucking love you, Quack.
I hate you so much. All that fucking HVAC shit. Is that just like gonna be the fucking forever running joke?
Yes.
Yes.
That and MC Boat. What about you, Taco?
I actually started a new job again.
Fucking.
Uh,
So what are you
since-
doing now?
Well, it's kind of the same thing, only I'm a concierge instead of security, so I'm no longer security. I'm in-house for an apartment complex downtown. That's it.
So basically, you basically just got your gun taken away?
Well, I'm still certified, but I mean, theoretically, yeah. And was given a telephone and was told to call the cops now. I don't have to go hands-on with these bucks anymore.
Like that sounds like all that happened is basically it sounds like you got your gun taken away.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, when you put it in layman's terms like that, you're not wrong.
Give me your badge and your gun.
Right.
No, it wasn't a badge. It's just, hey, give me your gun.
Yeah, I'm not security anymore, so I don't need a gun. But
I mean, you live in Cleveland. You need a gun.
Well, again, I'm not stupid, so. But I mean, it's a sweet job. It was a hell of a pay raise.
I was just getting ready to say, dude,
I
at
got
least come with a
benefits.
pay raise.
Dude, it was a hell of a pay raise, and I got 401k and benefits, paid vacation, paid PTO.
Dude, lately, any fucking job you get is a pay raise over security.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, how much you making now?
I can't disclose that information live.
Oh. Okay.
It's significant.
This motherfucker over here got PR trained.
Look, we just fucking told everybody that Taco lives in Cleveland, right? We don't fucking need to tell everybody that he's a multi-millionaire because we don't need anybody trying to rob him.
What multi-millionaire lives in Cleveland, homie?
Several.
Yeah, very. Whoa.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Dave Chappelle lives in Cleveland, actually.
No, he lives in Ohio, just not Cleveland. He lives in a fucking, one of them, like, off to the side fucking, like, gated communities and shit. In some, like, fucking suburb that, like, probably only fucking Taco would know.
Yeah. A suburb of a town is still living in that town. Changed my mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, long story short, I'm technically private sector.
Huh?
I mean, security is private sector.
Yeah, but it's different.
Not really.
No different.
You got private sector and you got public sector and you got military.
Right.
And as far as I know, you never were military, and I don't think you ever were public sector either.
Well, you can't see Taco fucking joining some, like, fucking organization to go to fight Iraq?
I could see him joining. I could not see him being able to stay for long.
No, he could stay, but they'd have to give him, like, an officer position.
They don't do that.
Yeah, they definitely.
Like, if Taco joins, he's bottom of the fucking barrel, fucking scraping shit out of the head.
What? Why does it sound like you know that from personal experience or something?
Probably because I do. I've been there, done that.
You worked for a fucking paramilitary organization.
No, I worked for the fucking Navy. Paramilitary organization is private sector.
That's what I thought. Isn't that what we were talking about?
A paramilitary organization is private sector.
Yeah, it's like mercenaries.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I thought isn't that not what you guys were talking about?
Well, the way you fucking worded it, you made it sound
the way I
like
worded it wasn't. Yeah.
No, in order to get into a paramilitary organization, you will have had to have been military before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't fucking want civilians. They don't want people who they have to train. Like, they're not, like, a paramilitary company is not going to pay you a couple $100,000 a year if they have to train you. That couple $100,000 a year comes with the understanding that you've already been trained and you know what you're doing. Out of any of us, I'm probably the only one qualified for paramilitary work.
Well, I sure as fuck ain't.
And I don't want to do it. Oh, man. See, so how have I been? I'm still working the same job. You
don't sound happy about it.
In prison. Tonight I'm not. Like, we got a big storm happening here, so, like, things are breaking everywhere, and they keep fucking calling me. And they're calling me about sites that I don't know anything about. Like, well, you have to call and tell that guy how to reset the UPS. I'm like, homie, I don't even know where the UPS is.
Just tell him, bro, it's midnight. UPS ain't delivering right now.
Nah, bro, just hit him with the classic, bro. I just work here.
So, well, the guy who's normally in charge of that facility is on PTO. But he gets back from PTO in the morning. So I'm pretty much like, why don't y'all just, like, prisoners are in their cells. They're not going to be using the phones tonight. Just fucking hand it off to that guy in the morning. Last weekend, not like the weekend we just ended, but the one before that, fucking I was sick. Like, no, I had some of the symptoms I had were not COVID symptoms. Like, I think it was a really bad sinus infection or some shit, honestly. I could, my nose, my whole, like, nasal system was burning.
You know what's weird is I got that right now. Like, it's not bad, but it's there.
If you got the same thing I got, wait till tomorrow or the day after.
Well, I sleep with a fan on, like, directly on.
So do I.
Okay, so I think that's what it is.
No. No, I have, like, that was just one of my symptoms. I had that. I had a mild fever. I started getting congestion. And I had absolutely no energy for anything. Now, I believe that this sickness actually evolved over like a week or so. Because like the week before that, like I tried streaming a bunch. And I was just too tired. Like, I no matter what game I played, I could not possibly muster the energy to go longer than like 45 minutes. And then I'm just sitting there like, dude, fuck this. Why am I doing this? I feel like shit. I'm tired. And then I'd get off and I'd like fall asleep and I'd sleep for like 12 fucking hours.
Yeah, I can't seem to sleep longer than 4. I think that's because I'm old, though.
So, I spent my entire fucking birthday that weekend just miserable in fucking, well, in bed, just fucking hoping I would die. And
that fun, huh?
I also had I had no fucking appetite. I felt like ridiculously weak. And I went damn near a week without eating any meaningful meal. Now, I don't think I had COVID because I could taste, I could smell, you know. Like, there was a whole bunch of things that I could do that you supposedly can't do if you have COVID.
Like breathe.
Yeah. So, I mean, granted, my breathing felt like, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. Have you ever snorted something?
Yeah.
Like hot sauce or some shit? Like I don't know. Something that fucking burns?
Yeah.
Or like you got pepper sprayed or whatever, and you just have that burning sensation in your nostril?
Yeah.
That is what it felt like to breathe through my nose. For like 4 days straight.
That sucks.
Like, I kind of had the symptoms on Friday, and then on Saturday, I was like, oh God, kill me now. And then on Sunday, which was my birthday, my friend Brandon came by, and I was like, I really don't feel like leaving my house. But he wanted to go to the fucking fast food joint up the road. So, despite feeling like shit, I went and fucking, I don't know, got some ice cream.
Right, that probably felt good.
And like some fries just to snack on. And then I fucked off and went right back to bed. And then I slept for like 16 hours straight. And then I had to get out the next day. Now, fortunately, I was smart and I scheduled my fucking car appointment, my car maintenance appointment for that Monday, so I didn't have to like go in and do any real work.
Okay.
So, like, I did not make my schedule planning to be too sick to do anything. But the fact that my schedule was the way that I made it was really fucking convenient at that time.
Right.
I went in and I fucking slept in the fucking Safe Light lobby while they replaced my windshield.
Huh.
I'm just sitting there fucking sprawled out on the couch fucking snoring. And then they replaced my windshield, and then the next day I have to go do this rewiring job, but somehow I managed to put my brain together enough to figure out like all the intricacies of it to tell the other two guys that I was working with what to do so that I didn't have to do much.
Right.
And then on that Wednesday, I went to a facility that has like almost no phones and was like 3 hours away from where I live. So most of my day consisted of sitting in the car. And then by the time that Thursday came around, I was still feeling a little bit fucked up and my brain wasn't working quite right, but I had more energy.
Right.
And then, like, I've been progressively, I'm still, even now, a little bit fucked up, but I've been progressively getting more and more energy back.
That's horrid.
So I hope you don't have what I had.
I don't either.
It was truly fucking, like, I haven't been sick in like 3 years. Or at least not noticeably sick. Like, Quack thinks I had COVID last year.
You did.
I didn't feel anything other than ridiculously fucking tired.
Yeah, and guess what? That was literally fucking like one of the biggest fucking symptoms of COVID.
It's also a pretty big symptom of working an 18-hour day every day.
You're a workhorse like that, man. When you finally get a chance and it fucking catches up, dude, done.
Yeah, but what he's not telling you is all the other shit he was doing. Go ahead, tell him everything that was really happening. Because it wasn't that you were just tired.
That's
This motherfucker.
That's primarily what it was.
But go ahead and tell him the rest of it.
You fucking tell him.
This motherfucker had a cough. He was sniffling. He complained that he had a constant dry and sore throat. Like, literally, motherfucker named off like half of the COVID symptoms. And he's trying to downplay it like, oh, I was just tired.
I don't fucking think I had COVID, but I don't know.
Homie,
maybe.
You had COVID.
Like,
I think I had COVID but beat it, and that was back when it first came out.
I don't think I fucking had it because with my luck, I expect it to be worse for me.
Oh, you can get it again. It can be worse, or it can be a lot easier to do. It's a fucking disease. What do you want from it?
Well, the honest answer to that question is I want my 10 days off.
I
mean, I want them, but only if they're paid.
Shit, I don't even care if they're paid.
Yeah, I don't know if they're paid.
I don't even care if they're... See, Taco wants to work. I want to not work. Like, yes, I can work, and I can work really hard, and I've got a good work ethic. That being said, I fucking hate working.
See, I don't mind working. I just don't like working for not a lot of money, bro.
I just don't like leaving my house for any reason other than I want to.
I mean, fuck, I don't have to get tons of hours anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have a fucking bougie job, and I shouldn't be complaining because I got kind of a bougie job now too. If I'm being perfectly real, most of the time I don't really do much of anything at all. Like, I probably only did an hour and a half of actual work today.
Yeah, that's sweet though.
But the fact of the matter is I still had to leave my house.
Well, right, not to mention you're one of what? We'll just call it 20 people in that whole area that can do what you just did?
No, I'm one of 3.
Well, I'm saying for that company, but
yeah,
there's probably 20 people in that whole area who can.
Probably. There's not many of us.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter if you work for 10 minutes. If you're the only one that knows how to push that fucking button, guess what?
If I'm being honest with you, it's not really a hard job. And most of it's not really difficult to understand. The problem with it is that it's a dying art. Like, the skills that I have from this job, I can't take anywhere else. Nobody's fucking using analog phones anywhere else. In fact, 10 or 15 years from now, analog phones might not even exist in prison.
What are they gonna do? Give them a cell phone?
Actually, they're talking about fucking having everything happen over these fucking tablets the inmates get.
Really?
Yeah. So, the analog phone stuff is going away even in the prisons.
Yo, let's just revert back to rotary phones, because fuck it, why not?
I mean, it's the same.
We will.
It's the same fucking technology. It's
We'll go back
like
to fucking switchboards.
like it's the same technology though. Like it's the analog stuff, the analog phone stuff hasn't changed very much since Alexander Graham Bell invented it back in like the fucking 1800s or whatever.
Just use a better metal and better coating for that metal, and that's it.
Basically. And we're having the computers do all the fucking we're having the computers do all the stuff the manual switchboard people used to do fucking 100 years ago.
Right.
Bro, have you seen some of those switchboard buildings?
Yeah.
Bro, those things look fucking like decrepit and just fucking horrible.
They
like
are.
Especially the AT&T ones, because literally they are just a big, massive concrete fucking building with like no windows.
I mean, they don't need windows.
I mean, for real.
Bro, that's crazy to me.
Why?
Could you imagine working in a place with no windows?
Yeah, I have.
I have to.
Okay, well maybe I'm fucking entitled then, because I haven't.
In fact, a lot of the places I go to now don't have windows.
Okay, but you work in a prison, like you travel and you do all kinds of other shit. Like, I'm talking like, could you imagine sitting down at a fucking desk in a building with surrounded by other motherfuckers?
Yes, I've done it.
9 to 5, just sitting in a fucking desk, no windows, all artificial light.
Yep, I worked in a call center. I worked in a call center where we handled fucking child support collection calls.
Mine was a call center too, and it sucked.
Hold on. You worked in a fucking call center for child support collections?
Yes.
Why has this never come up?
I've talked about it before.
The bullshit.
I have. I've talked about it on the Kekfest before even.
The bullshit.
In fact,
I'm hearing of it.
In fact, it was kind of a clusterfuck because the same call center also did Yankee Candle fucking orders. So I'd go from making a child support collection phone call and getting cussed out by some deadbeat dad to fucking taking some Canadian person's order from Yankee Candle and having to explain to them the difference between fucking US dollars and Canadian dollars. In fact, that's what one of my write-ups was for.
Hold on, what did you get written up for?
I got written up for telling a Canadian person it's not my fault that their currency is not worth as much as ours. And she's like, well, why is it more expensive? I was like, it's more expensive because you live in Canada and nobody wants to fucking deliver anything up there. Because it's cold and decrepit and nobody wants to fucking go to Canada except Canadians. Even stoners don't want to go to Canada anymore because you can get all the good weed in Colorado now.
Not just Colorado, but California too.
Like straight up. I straight up I got wrote up for fucking for telling her that like they had to take me aside like you realize you can't talk to fucking customers like that, right? And I was like, well, she's not a customer yet. She hasn't bought anything. Like, and you know what? The fact that they're fucking protesting in their capital with fucking semi-trucks and shit tells me it's not the ideal place to be. When they have to listen to a fucking clown like Trudeau.
I mean, it's better than our Cheeto dust fucking president. Not
really. Honestly, I have more respect for Biden than I do Trudeau.
I'm sorry. We're past the Cheeto dust. We're in fucking Captain Alzheimer's now.
Hey, Captain Alzheimer's said something the other day that I fucking... You know what? Biden doesn't say things very often that I could respect, but he did say something the other...
He barely say anything.
Okay, well, the other day he said something that I fucking liked.
Was it?
They were trying to get him to explain himself because, like, at one point he was like, well, Putin shouldn't even be in power anymore. So a bunch of the fucking, like, right-wing news groups are trying to get him to, like, walk into a fucking, like, you know how the media does.
Right.
And he was sitting there like, they're like, so what, you know, what do you think Putin thinks about this? And he looks at the fucking reporter and he's like, I don't care what Putin thinks. I was like, yeah, straight up. Like, it ain't fucking time for us to care what he thinks anymore. It's time for him to care what we think.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. With I'd have to find the clip, but with how brazen he was about it, like, he didn't even fucking beat around the bush or anything with it. I was like, yeah, like he said it fucking directly.
Well, it's because he doesn't like the bushes.
Might as well have been like, I don't know, bitch.
We all
I'm
know
not.
I don't know. Fucking. I don't like. I don't like. I don't like fucking Biden, but I respect his sentiment there.
Why? Hold on. Why was Obama about to get brought up? I heard that.
I don't know. I
fucking slide past that. Like, we didn't all just hear him almost say Obama.
I associate Biden with Obama. Like, to me, they're practically the same thing.
I associate Biden. I call him George Bush the Third.
George Bush the Third.
He's fucking stupid.
My fellow American.
I don't think we had a fucking smart president in the time any of us have been alive.
Reagan?
No.
I was gonna say, I've only been alive since Bush, so.
Well, Reagan wasn't around when I was alive, but I think Reagan was a fucking idiot too.
Wait, didn't I technically catch like the ass end of Bill Clinton?
What year were you born?
98.
Yeah.
So I caught the fucking farts of fucking Bill Clinton's fucking presidency.
You caught his wife queefing on the way out the White House. I gotta give Bill Clinton props for something though.
What, getting his dick sucked in the Oval Office?
No. I gotta give Bill Clinton props for holding a higher position of power than his wife ever did, but somehow managing to do nowhere near as much damage to the country.
Damn, it'd be like that.
Man, we haven't covered a single actual article yet.
Yeah, I don't have a blog.
Go over the local beat first.
Because I work on...
Taco is like, I can't associate with these peasants for very long.
It ain't even like that.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what though, Mr. Moneybags, I'm getting into making custom watches, so if you want one, hit me up.
Okay.
High quality shit. Alright, so I'm going to cover the most recent fucking local beat article first. Well, I think it's the only local beat article, come to think of it. There was a shooting in the mall. When I was laying sick in bed hoping to fucking die, there was a shooting. Somebody else literally was dying. Maybe I should have went to the mall. Spread my sickness everywhere. The Wichita Police Department identified the victim of the shooting as a 14-year-old teen, Javarius Hutton of Wichita. They've arrested a 16-year-old teen on charge of second-degree murder. They released the 17-year-old arrested in connection to the shooting. According to police, the fight led to a deadly shooting Friday at Town East Mall. Wichita Police Department officer Chad Ditch said Hutton died from his injuries at the scene. They arrested the other two. The mall reopened the next day. The incident stemmed from a fight involving the teens in which one of them pulled out a gun and shot the 14-year-old several times. A short time later, the suspect was located in the area. The police said that this was not a random crime and was likely gang-related. Anybody with information on the shooting can call the snitch hotline. As the investigation continues, they interviewed a bunch of witnesses and shit. And I'm not going to go over the he said, she said's of it. The fact of the matter is, there are some kids in the mall trying to do some gang shit, and one of them shot the other.
It wasn't about that life.
Well, the one might have been about that life until he died. Then he's not about any life.
That's fucked.
It's true.
It doesn't make it any less fucked.
Let's see, big news. I don't really care about the ISIS leader that was killed. I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it matters.
Is ISIS even a thing anymore?
Blatantly.
Not much of a thing. It's only a thing when you're trying to get people to like you and to get your approval ratings higher when you're the president.
I feel like you're insinuating something.
I am. I am. Because the only reason Biden gave a shit about any of these ISIS people is because right now his fucking his approval ratings are some of the lowest in history.
Probably because most of America was fucking pro-Trump.
Well, I also think that fucking most of America is not stupid enough to be swayed by the killing of some ISIS leader.
That too.
Alrighty, informative articles. Whew. I wish I had like some big transition thing to fucking... some shit like that, yeah. Maybe I should think about getting a green screen again. Fucking, I don't know how I'd rig it up though. Like this room's...
You could just fucking install like a fucking, stripper pole but vertically, and then just fucking run a giant fucking shower curtain that's a green sheet.
This room's kind of weird for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a shower curtain thing back there, and then... I don't know what I'm doing about these walls.
Paint them?
Homie, I am not gonna fucking get there and chisel all that fucking wallpaper off.
Fucking Omega Lol just fucking go over it?
No, because then I'll lose my deposit. Because it'll look like shit.
You're gonna lose your deposit for ripping the fucking wallpaper off anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm not fucking doing it. I mean, I'm going to lose some of my deposit anyways. I don't want to lose all of it.
Well, fuck it. Just go for it all, bro.
Let's see here. Baleen whales have an oral plug to help them guzzle down food without choking.
Huh.
We need to get one of those for Quack.
Shut the fuck up.
MC
How do I fucking know?
MC boat with the fucking whale plug here.
Shut up.
When fin whales capture their food, they end up scooping a lot of water into their mouths. Scientists in Canada, of all places, have discovered a fatty structure in the marine mammals that may explain how they're able to engulf such vast amounts of prey-filled water without choking. They examined the whales. They identified a section of soft... Jesus Christ, what is with all these people fucking messaging me? Fuck off! They examined deceased whales and they found a soft plate that could seal the upper airway while the whale feeds. These whales can grow up to 85 feet long. Jesus Christ. They belong to a large group of whales called the Rorqual family. What is that? Some Canadian word that I don't know? Along with other sea giants and blue whales and humpback whales. Their unusual strategy known as lunge feeding to capture krill, fish, and squid. Oh good, at least they eat squid. Nobody likes squid. Communist bastards. During lunge feeding, let's see, at the speeds of about 10 feet per second. How the whales protect their airways as water floods the mouth has been a mystery. The oral plug was tightly wedged and could not be easily pushed free. When the researchers examined the muscle fibers of the soft plate, they concluded the only way the oral plug could move for food to pass through during swallowing would be to shift backwards and upwards, and in doing so, block the entry to the nasal cavities. The process is similar to what happens when a human swallows.
Yeah, your uvula.
Your uvula is pushed back and the throat muscles contract so food doesn't go up the nose. Interesting. Whales are like humans. In some terrible news for internet freedom all around the world, SpaceX loses 40 Starlink satellites after geomagnetic storm hits Earth. Elon Musk has lost 40 of the 49 satellites launched last Saturday. These were going to be a part of the controversial mega constellation Starlink. But
see, that sucks, dude. That sets us back.
It does. Fucking we need that internet. I need that internet so that I can get off of Cox Communications. Let's see. On the subject of SpaceX, there's a rocket on a crash course with the moon as of February 13th. Apparently, it does not belong to SpaceX, according to the report. A massive rocket speeding through space on a collision course with the moon does not belong to SpaceX, despite earlier reports, and likely belongs to a spacecraft launched by China in 2014. They first reported the mystery object discovered by Bill Gray, the developer of the astronomical software called Project Pluto. The report said, He updated his website to show the correction after being flagged by a NASA engineer who claimed his earlier, or who questioned his earlier claim. He checked the data and said there's good evidence that the object is a Chinese Chang 5T1 rocket stage that was launched in October of 2014. The earlier theory was that the object was SpaceX Falcon 9 upper stage that was launched on 2015. The object will hit the moon within a few kilometers of the predicted spot on March 4th, within a few seconds of their predicted time.
Okay, so it already hit.
Yeah.
And
allegedly.
Did it do anything?
Well, this was before it was supposed to hit the article, so I don't.
No, I'm not hating on that. I'm saying, but did it do anything? Like,
well, the article doesn't say, because the article was written before it hit.
Well, I just figured, they were like, oh, well, it's just a piece of metal hit. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to affect anything.
I mean, I guess if it was going to affect anything, we'd probably have heard about it by now. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear about that until today when I read the article.
Okay.
An Antarctic ice shelf larger than New York City in an area previously thought to be stable has collapsed. The shelf is relatively small at 460 square miles, but its unexpected disintegration marks the first time in history that East Antarctica has seen an ice shelf collapse. In this part of Antarctica, which is attached to the highest, driest, coldest region, we really didn't anticipate seeing an ice shelf collapse, said a glaciologist at the University of Minnesota on a TikTok video. The shelf broke apart as the temperature soared in the region last week. It collapsed sometime between March 14th and March 16th, according to Catherine Walker, an ice scientist. That was days before the research station on the Antarctic Plateau registered temperatures of 70 degrees Fahrenheit above average. A long column of water vapor, called an atmospheric river, had carried the heat from the tropics to the ice continent at the same time. A high-pressure system called a heat dome moved in and sat over East Antarctica, trapping heat and moisture.
Odd.
Sounds like a weather event rather than global warming.
Biodome. You think that means it goes both ways?
Maybe. Let's see, entertainment news. I think everything, well, the two articles that were there are completely overshadowed by what happened at the Emmys last night. Or was it the Oscars?
Oscars.
It's all the same shit to me.
The award show.
You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest and real with everybody. I would not have known that the Oscars was happening if Will Smith didn't act damn fool.
The whole Liza Minnelli thing was cool.
Do what?
I said the whole Liza Minnelli thing was cool.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
See, I didn't watch it either, but it got overshadowed by the Will Smith thing. But yeah, they got Liza Minnelli to come out and do an award. I forgot who helped her, but it was pretty cool.
So, Chris Rock made a G.I. Jane joke about Will Smith's wife.
Keep his wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Who apparently, I don't even remember his wife's name,
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Hey, keep Will Smith's wife name out your mouth. Anyways, I guess Chris Rock didn't know that she had like some disease or whatever that makes her hair fall off.
Yeah.
Oh no, he definitely knew. She's a spokeswoman for alopecia.
But apparently you can't make a joke about it, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought Chris Rock's joke was pretty fucking funny. I think that joke is fucking lit. And you guys may disagree with me on it, but my position is that fucking Chris Rock takes a punch better than Will Smith takes a punchline. I don't feel like Chris Rock intended any malice behind the joke. Like, he's a comedian and comedians joke about shit. Like, that's what they do. And sometimes you gotta say a joke about something that's fucked up.
Not only that, but it's kind of taboo to not touch on something. Well, not necessarily certain things, but you gotta joke with the crowd, man.
Yeah, you gotta. Like, that's how you keep the crowd engaged.
Right. And you can tell. I don't know if you actually watched it, but you can tell that the way it was even led up to it, it wasn't like scripted. You know, he was talking to some other person like, "Oh my God, you and your wife are here, man. If you win and she don't, you're never going to hear the end of it. You better pray to God that Will Smith gets it." You know what I'm saying? And then that's when it transitioned into the whole Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith thing.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't think Will Smith should have fucking done that.
Absolutely not on the stage.
I think he was out of line there. And then to top that off, I really think that it goes to show the hypocrisy of Hollywood. Because Hollywood wants to sit here and they want to fucking... they want to try to tell you how you should live your life and what you should think. And they want to sort of like, you know, push their beliefs on you.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of it tends to be in the favor of PC culture. And they talk about privilege. Like, that's something the Hollywood people like to bring out a lot. They're like, well, if he wasn't white or whatever, he wouldn't have been able to do this or do that or whatever. When what the Emmys showed was a perfect example of privilege that Hollywood doesn't want to talk about. Because let me tell you what happened, okay? If I would have got on stage and slapped Chris Rock, I wouldn't have fucking made it off the stage before the cops came and got my ass.
Well, no, but the thing about it is first off, Chris Rock decided not to press charges.
Doesn't matter.
You know,
like,
that was that. But an assault in front of 25 million people shouldn't have walked away.
That's a fucking well. To top that off, like. Chris Rock doesn't have to fucking press charges for it to turn into the people of California versus Will Smith thing.
Right, the state will pick it up.
And I don't think the state will pick it up, but I think they should.
Yeah.
Because they would for anybody else. If you got on the stage and did that, if I got on the stage and did that, not only would we have not fucking made it off the stage before the cops came and fucking dealt with it, they would have probably beat the ever-loving fuck out of us before putting us in the fucking cop car.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, you want to talk about privilege, don't fucking talk to me about privilege until you fucking check your own privilege, Hollywood. The other thing is that this fucking, like, and this is something that I don't feel like enough people are talking about with this situation, but this also kind of sets an example that if you don't like what somebody is saying, that you can get up on the stage and commit a physical act of violence against them if you disagree with it.
No.
As dumb
I mean,
as
you're not taking into consideration, and again, I'm not saying that what he did was right, but you're not taking into consideration everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, these fucking PC culture people, like, they're not gonna take like they're not gonna think about all that shit. Now, you know, it could potentially be like, well, fucking Will Smith fucking did it when Chris Rock said something about his wife. I don't like this thing that Ben Shapiro is saying at my college. Why don't I get up on stage and fucking punch him? Like a lot of these people follow the examples of these people that they see on TV.
You're not wrong.
Because they're too stupid to do anything else. And yeah, there could have been some emotional stuff with that. I mean, I guess Will Smith is in a convoluted, open relationship where his wife gets to basically fuck whoever she wants. And he probably feels a certain sort of way because of that. So,
not to mention the entire world laughed at him when he fucking opened up. No, I mean, that is fucked up, dude. I mean, that's fucked up.
Well, I kind of...
Men don't really show points of weakness to begin with, and for somebody of his stature to show weakness like that and be laughed at, that's fucked up.
I kind of think that, I mean, I don't know, when it comes to the whole relationship thing, I think Will Smith is in kind of a fucked up situation, and I think he's mad because of that. And I think part of him slapping Chris Rock was a lashing out because of shit that's going on at home.
Right, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That being said, I am going to give some merit to the people who say that it's fake. I don't personally think it's fake, but some of the people who say it is, like, have pretty good points, you know? Like, nobody gave a shit about the Oscars until Will Smith slapped somebody.
Right.
Like, staging some kind of celebrity fight or conflict is awesome for TV ratings, and every fucking TV network knows this.
Well, yeah.
So, and people were pointing out how Chris Rock didn't even really move to, like, defend himself or anything. And so some people think it's fake. And I don't know, maybe it is. I don't think it is. But
how does Chris Rock to know that he was going to come up and get smacked? So of course he's going to let him stop up. Maybe he had something to say, like, "Oh, that was a good one, ha ha ha, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying?
I mean, unless Chris Rock did know he was going to get smacked ahead of time and just let it happen.
Maybe he knew that saying that joke was going to get him smacked, so he stood there like the man and got smacked.
Well, yeah, and maybe he was intended to stand there and get smacked. Who knows?
I mean, that's true too, but I'm just saying,
but,
like, I know that if I said something out of pocket and you smacked me, I wouldn't go back and be like, all right, we're fighting.
And
I
that's
said
what
something out of pocket. I deserve that.
and that's what. Well, the thing is people were saying, like, not necessarily that Will Smith slapping him was fake. I think the better way to put it is that people are thinking that it was intentionally staged. And to be fair, okay, the only thing that Will Smith is actually good at acting like is a tough guy. Like, Will Smith's not really good at acting like anything else. Like, he has some stuff that he's acted in that I like. He has some stuff that he's acted in well that I like. I'm not saying he's a shitty actor or well, I mean, he is kind of a shitty actor. Because he only can act as one thing. Take a look at his fucking portfolio.
Kind of like Mark Wahlberg.
Yes, kind of like Mark Wahlberg. Like, you take a look at his portfolio. The only thing he's good at acting like is a fucking tough guy.
From Brooklyn.
You know, like, just when I look at whether an actor is good or not, one of the things that I pay great attention to is the diversity of roles that actor has played. You know, there's plenty of good actors out there, and Will Smith is good at acting like a tough guy. Like, I'm not saying he's a complete failure of an actor. He at least knows what he's good at doing, and he, you know, plays into that some, and that's his hustle. Good for him. I mean, you know, but to be a good actor in my fucking eyes, like, you gotta have a little bit more well-rounded of a portfolio, you know?
Motherfucking Mike Loud.
You can't always be the fucking badass. Like, I don't know. Here's an example of a good actor. Ewan McGregor.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the guy who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. That's the role.
Fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's the role he's most famous for. But
that's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's acted in a wide variety of other movies. And fucking killed it. So, you know, that's a pretty good actor. Samuel L. Jackson, good actor.
Jim Carrey?
Huh?
No, he always plays the fucking goof.
So that's what he's good at.
Yeah, but
that's the same difference, though.
But that's like saying Will Smith is a good actor, you know, because Will Smith acts the tough guy really well. He doesn't fucking do anything else.
Yeah, he does. He's had plenty of dramatic roles.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Pursuit of Happiness, Concussion.
I'd even throw I Am Legend kind of in there a little bit. That was a bit of a dramatic role. He was a lone fucking, what he thought was a lone survivor.
Yeah, but he was still a fucking tough guy in the middle of New York.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like he said though, Pursuit. You got Pursuit of Happiness. You've got fucking
Concussion.
Concussion. The fucking movie he just got nominated for. Fucking dramatic role.
I didn't see the movie he just got nominated for. The majority, and then the other thing about fucking Will Smith, right? The other thing about him, and this is something that I've just kind of picked up on from like interviews and shit that I've watched, is that Will Smith will not act in any fucking movie unless he's like the main fucking thing.
Squad?
The main fucking thing.
Suicide Squad?
You know, that's just something I don't know. Well, yeah, fucking badasses. Like, you're not really fucking helping your case with these. I'm not saying.
I'm literally countering what you're saying.
You're not countering what I'm saying. Fucking Bad Boys.
Yeah, but he was it was a split main character role.
Yeah, but he was still one of the fucking main characters.
Suicide Squad?
You know? And he was a fucking badass at that. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think that Will Smith is a particularly good actor. Because his portfolio is not diverse enough. Like,
What do you mean? He's an action star, he's a comedy star, he's a drama star, he's a horror star.
He hasn't been particularly impressive to me in any of those roles. Like, I'm not saying he fucking bombed the movies that I've seen. But he's never had an acting performance that has had me sitting there like, wow, you know. And I could list some acting performances that have had me sitting there thinking like, holy shit, you know. Like, you want to see some good acting? Joaquin Phoenix in The Gladiator.
Joaquin Phoenix, anything.
Like, well, yeah, fucking amazing actor. Now, his performance in The Gladiator was so fucking good that it actually made me fucking hate him. He was so convincing of an actor in that movie that I thought that his acting could not possibly be that good in that movie unless that's how he was in real life. Will Smith hasn't fucking convinced me in that manner. Samuel L. Jackson in Django, for example. Probably one of it. Well, actually, come to think of it, Django has had a bunch of fucking, like, absolutely fucking legendary, convincing performances from just about everybody in the fucking movie.
What was that Western that he did, too? The Quentin Tarantino Western he did?
That is the Quentin... Oh,
fucking...
No, it's not Inglourious Basterds. The Hateful Eight?
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, that was a good-ass movie.
And his performance in that movie was fucking absolutely spot on, too.
Yes.
Fucking... And Christopher Waltz. God, I love that guy.
Yeah, is it Christopher or Christoph?
I think either are applicable. I think he's personally went by either name.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, though, but yeah, no, dude, that dude's a fucking legend.
Like, he's somebody that nobody really be talking about.
Yeah, honestly, he really is. He's underrated as fuck.
But fucking every role that I have personally seen him play was just abso-fucking-lutely impressive.
Uh-huh.
And to top that off, he has played roles that a lot of actors would not dare to even touch. And has been fucking like his role in Inglourious Basterds.
Oh yeah.
Was so he was so convincing at that role that the first time I ever seen him in that movie, that first fucking opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first time you see it.
Talking about the Nazi. Okay, the Nazi dude.
Yeah.
Yes, the Nazi.
Okay.
We're talking like that guy's a good actor, and that particular scene of his, man, that fucking hit hard.
the can I have a glass of your delicious milk?
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, like
what gets me about it though is like how crazy, like you can like literally feel like the tension as like you can feel it, like you can feel the fucking tension in the movie.
Quentin Tarantino did such a fucking good job at writing that movie and writing the dialogue and setting the fucking scene. And he's really good at picking actors for his roles.
Yeah, that's too.
That's one of my favorite things about his movies is he knows how to pick the role where he like the actors he picks are good actors, but he knows how to pick like this guy's a really, really good actor, and he'll be fucking perfect for this role. Like, Tarantino's got a good eye for spotting that. Yeah.
Can we talk about like him also playing fucking Dr. Dysonido in Alita Battle Angel?
I haven't had the fucking pleasure of watching that one yet.
Dude, killed that role.
But I'm sure if it's got Christopher Waltz in it, that if the movie is good, then it is good. If the movie is bad, then it is still probably good because Christopher Waltz could carry that shit on his back.
Oh, he
with
kind
his
of
acting.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Do what?
He does. He carries the movie.
Yeah, I think another really good actor is fucking Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
You know,
I didn't like Leo. I didn't.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. Honestly, I never really liked his work past past his like teen years. Like the Gilbert Grape, fucking
Dude, he went full retard and did a good job.
Titanic, the Catch Me If You Can, you know what I mean? Like that, those, like I liked those. You know, it really started going downhill for me when he like got older. You know,
have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
That one wasn't bad. I will admit, but I kind of feel like honestly the supporting cast kind of carried it.
I mean, yeah, Jonah Hill did fucking play a significant role in that movie. Fucking his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, dude, that whole movie was the shit.
Is that the one where the fucking the dude gets in trouble for like fighting Bruce Lee and then because he dents the car?
Yeah.
I watched that movie.
Dude, that's Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I know that's not Leo, but I'm saying isn't that the movie that he's talking about though that happens?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched that movie for the first time, like, I don't know, 9 months ago or something. And then after that, I had to turn around and watch it again the next day. Oh my God. And
I'm going to go silent for a minute.
I almost lost faith in Tarantino. Almost. Because you know how his trademark is just having a bloodbath somewhere in his movies?
Yeah.
Towards the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was afraid the bloodbath wasn't going to happen. And then he did not disappoint me. That scene was fucking awesome. You got Brad Pitt in there fucking high on fucking acid trying to fucking fight these people. Guy's fucking pointing the gun at him. He's sitting there looking at the guy like, are you real? That was fucking... Oh man, that scene cracked me up, dude. I lost my shit when I saw that for the first time. Oh my God.
Did you guys see that Ezra Miller got arrested?
No.
Since we're talking about actors.
No, but I'll admit I'm not very good at paying attention to them.
So this is like recent, like this is like today.
Okay.
So he got arrested at a bar in Hawaii after he became unruly. The article says Miller, 29, known for playing Flash in the film franchise, became agitated at a bar in Hilo while other people were singing karaoke. Police said Miller, in quotes, began yelling obscenities, end quote, and grabbed the microphone from a 23-year-old woman. Miller is also accused of lunging at a 32-year-old man who was playing darts. The bar owner asked Miller to stop several times and to calm down with no success. Miller, who police said was visiting Hawaii from Vermont, was arrested just after midnight Monday and charged with disorderly conduct and harassment and was released after posting $500 bail.
Homeboy had no chill, I guess. $500 bail?
Yep.
Fuck, what was the point in arresting him in the first place?
Probably because they had to.
Like, fuck, I could pull $500 out of my ass. Oh, man. Oh, I'll tell you another, this is another actor who I don't think, and this is going to be a pretty controversial opinion probably, I don't think he's that great of an actor because he's overhyped. Fucking Tom Cruise.
No, I agree.
100%.
Honestly, the only movie I'm a really big fan of him in is Top Gun.
Well, that movie was great. A Few Good Men was great, but these are like earlier movies.
You know,
have you ever seen A Few Good Men?
No, I don't think so.
Ah, that's a good one.
You know who I think is a bit underrated?
Who?
David Schwimmer.
Yeah, you got a point there. I was going to go back to something I was talking about with Tom Cruise, though. I had a thing that I was going to communicate with that.
Well, you can go ahead. I just wanted to get my thing out the way real quick because I had it in my head.
There was one performance of his that surprised me.
Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It really surprised me. You know how usually you can like point out an actor and like know who that person is?
Yeah.
When they're on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize that it was Tom Cruise until I saw the fucking credits.
In what movie?
Tropic Thunder.
Tom Cruise was in Tropic Thunder?
Yes! He played as the fucking rich movie guy. Fucking Les, whatever the fuck his name is.
Wait, your face!
Yes!
Really?
Yes! That was...
What? Alright, I'm going on IMDb. Hold on.
That was Tom Cruise, I shit you not.
Tropic Thunder. There is no fucking way that was fucking Tom Cruise.
Yes, it was.
That's such crap. Hold on.
The fact that I saw that in the credits made me have to watch it again. Because I was like, no way.
There's no... What? Hold on, now I gotta find a picture of it. Hold on.
Like, as much as I was saying Tom Cruise is fucking overhyped, he fucking killed it right there, boy.
Oh my fucking god, that's Tom fucking Cruise.
I had no fucking idea until the end of the movie when I saw the credits, and I was like, what?
Tell me why that whole time I thought that was like the fucking same dude that played the cripple in fucking Scary Movie 2.
I don't know. But
you know who I'm talking about though?
The whole fucking time I was watching that, I thought that was just some random guy that they got, like, you know, some B-list actor that they pulled in to do it.
That's crazy. That's fucking wild that I fucking never noticed that shit.
So I'm not the only one who fucking had his mind blown by that. Cause I mean, Tropic Thunder fucking blew my mind in a lot of ways. And that was one of them.
Oh yeah, when I first saw Tropic Thunder, I swear to God, I had no idea that it was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, same. I didn't know that was Robert Downey Jr. either. In fact, his fucking acting and his, like, it was so good in that movie, I actually thought he was a black guy. I actually thought he was like some unknown B-list fucking person that they pulled in there.
That's crazy.
And then when that whole fucking thing, and you know what, I'm not gonna lie, that was the first movie I'd seen Robert Downey Jr. in, like, that I actually cared that it was Robert Downey Jr. And I went back and started, I was like, wow, like,
yeah, like it was so convincing.
like that. And on the subject of good actors, that guy is a good actor. That guy is a fucking excellent actor. Like, every fucking movie he's in, he's fucking, like, just completely, like, slayed it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't care about superhero movies. And Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in Iron Man actually made me like that movie. I don't care about the hero or the lore or anything like that. Just how well he played the character. Like, I don't care about the Iron Man character. I just like his portrayal of it.
That's fair. What's your fucking thoughts on Christopher Walken?
I'm kind of indifferent. Fuck, I'm trying to remember some of the shit he was in.
He's honestly, I can't think of a single movie he's the main character of. Like, I've only ever known him really as a supporting character.
Oh, dude, that was the guy that was in Pulp Fiction for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
When he was talking about fucking, I had this
the wolf or whatever.
I had oh my god. Well, he was also, I think he was also the guy that was saying he had the watch up his ass for 5 years.
What?
I think that was him. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up on stream.
Oh Jesus.
I feel like that was him, but I don't know for sure.
He was also in Click, if you're a big Adam Sandler guy.
I hadn't seen that movie in years.
Yeah, but remember, he's the Bed Bath & Beyond guy. I don't know what the movie is, but there's a fucking famous scene that he's in where it's like, the guy's like, put your hands up, and he goes, no. And the guy's like, but I have a gun. Oh shit, hang on, wait, fuck. Wait, YouTube, right? There it is. Hang on.
One more thing to put on the sled, and we'll start for Captain Roadside.
Butch, stop watching TV a second.
Call Spinner.
Yeah? I've got a special visitor. Now, do you remember when I told you your daddy died in a POW camp? Well, this here is Captain Coons. He was in the POW camp with Daddy.
Hello, little man. Boy, I sure heard a bunch about you. See, I was a good friend of
Oh
yours.
yeah, that's him. That's Christopher Walken.
Hanoi pit of hell together over 5 years. Hopefully, you'll never have to experience this yourself. But
Was Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction?
In a situation like me and your dad were for as long as we were. You take on certain responsibilities of the other. If it had been me who'd not made it,
Oh.
Major Coolidge, you'd be talking right now to my son, Jim.
Oh.
The way it turned out, I'm talking to you. Butch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's a good supporting actor, but that's really all he is. Hmm. What about Yeah, what about like fucking Rob Schneider? You big Rob Schneider guy?
Not really. I'm sure if I really fucking think about it, I could fucking think of some movies he was in that I liked.
Benchwarmers, Deuce Bigelow, Mill Gigolo, fucking he was that fucking guy in Waterboy that's like, you can do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't really care for him. I'm not saying he's bad. He's just, I don't know. He's not in enough movies that I care about. The problem with those comedies, for example, like Deuce Bigelow, is a lot of those things are only funny once. Unless you're high. Like, they're only funny once.
Yeah.
And then after that, they kind of lose their rewatch value because you know all the jokes. I mean, there are some comedy movies that are funny, and they're funny every time you watch them. Like Super Troopers. That one, I don't know. That one never gets old, and it's the crazy thing about it is that I have a hard time explaining why. I can't explain why that movie is funny. Is just as funny the first time as it is, the second or the third. I don't know. But it is. Ooh, I'll tell you another fucking classic in terms of comedy. You may or may not have seen it. It's on YouTube right now for free. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Like the old one?
You've never seen it? It's a comedy.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'll tell you what. That movie is free to watch right now. I'm gonna fucking post it in Discord for you. You're probably not gonna watch it tonight, but when you get around to it, you should see it. Especially because it's free. You don't have to like pirate it or anything.
My bad, gentlemen.
It's all good. Have you seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes.
Your take?
Unlike other Robin Hoods, I speak with an English accent.
Oh, God. That movie was hilarious, dude.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
What?
This fucking article that I just came across? Apparently, you could even consider this local beat for you.
Yeah?
I mean, it's Wichita.
What is it? Unless you want to send it to me and I'll cover it. It's either or. It's all the same to me.
I don't know if this is gonna send as a Facebook one though. I hate when it sends as a Facebook thing. Here, let me try.
Alright, what's the fucking headline?
It didn't. It's in local beat.
My name's Little John, but don't let my name fool you. In real life, I'm pretty big.
Flamingo that escaped Kansas Zoo 17 years ago is what the... fuck do you... Oh, there he is, that little bugger who escaped 17 years ago. Like, how do you tell that flamingo from another? One of 2 flamingos that escaped from a Kansas zoo during a storm 17 years ago has been spotted off the coast of Texas. The Coastal Fisheries Division of the Texas Park and Wildlife confirmed Tuesday to the Associated Press that the African flamingo known as 492, because of the number on its leg, was captured on video in a shot March 10th by an environmental activist. Officials were able to make out the bird's leg band on the video. The bird and another flamingo escaped from the Sedgwick County Zoo in Wichita on a stormy night in 2005. Employees had not yet clipped the birds' wings to prevent them from flying, which facilitated their escape. The other flamingo was never seen again. 492 had been spotted several times in Wisconsin, Louisiana, and Texas, sometimes with other wild flamingos. It had been a year or 2 since the bird was last seen in Texas. Jesus, that motherfucker gets around.
I know, I was just thinking, dude, like, this motherfucker been to Wisconsin. This motherfucker traveled more than I have.
I've been everywhere, man. Zoo officials have never made plans to recapture 492 despite the sightings, saying that there's no easy way to do so without disturbing other wildlife. The escaped flamingos, known for their distinctive pink feathers and long legs and necks, were born in Africa and then shipped to a Kansas zoo in 2004 with 39 other flamingos. Huh. I'll be damned.
Anyway, yeah, that was my what the fuck moment that I felt like needed to be shared because, like, dude, I saw that headline and I was like, what the fuck?
On the subject of what the fuck headlines, I'm not sure the video footage is anywhere anymore, but I saw the video footage of it. And it was pretty fucking disturbing.
Okay.
12-year-old girl shoots 14-year-old boy and then herself on Instagram Live during a party.
Jesus.
Yeah. They were like trying to show off and like act all gangster and shit. And then she shot him, and she was really surprised about shooting him and didn't know what else to do, and decided that the thing to do would be to shoot herself.
Like, she just straight blew her fucking brains out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The 12-year-old girl shot, like, well, there's some context to this that wasn't in the video that I saw.
Okay.
Like, there's a bunch of shit that I didn't know when I watched the... Like, I just saw the fucking thing go down, you know? 12-year-old girl shot a 14-year-old boy and then herself during a family party that was broadcast live on Instagram. Paris Harvey reportedly found the gun in her family's home and then shot her cousin before shooting herself. The family is calling the incident an accidental shooting. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department responded to a call at 2 a.m. Friday morning at an apartment complex where they found the 2 young teens dead. It is reported that the children were alone in a bathroom at the apartment space that had been rented for the family's birthday celebration. She let her daughter go to the family's party because there were several March birthday parties. Everybody was getting together to celebrate. And so the younger kids, they got a bed and breakfast. They were making a video, and Paris was playing with the gun, and it went off and hit him. Police described the incident before the two young teens as a murder-suicide. But Shanice described the incident as an accident. And the article was saying something different than what I saw on the video. So I'm not going to say what the article said. Well, the article is saying they dropped the gun, but that's not what fucking happened. What fucking happened was the kid was trying to act all fucking tough, pointing the fucking gun at the camera and shit, and fucking shot. And then shot herself afterwards.
What, like, oh my god, turned the gun to herself and shot herself?
Yes.
Okay.
And then and their bodies are all leaned up against the bathroom door, and the family hearing gunshots, you know, they're trying to fucking get in there. And then when they finally do get in there, I mean, I don't know, they react how one would react when they see two kids laying dead in a bathroom. And then they were like,
I bet you I could find that video on 4chan.
And then they looked at the fucking phone, and they're like, "Oh my god, it was alive!" And then they like went and turned it off. That's the video I saw, and maybe this article is like related to a different shooting, but I don't think it is.
That's exactly what it is. It is a murder-suicide.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with it being a murder-suicide, but the way the family are fucking describing it is they're like, oh, she dropped the gun, and then it went off and hit him, and then she killed herself. Like, not the video I saw. The video I saw, she fucking went and she pulled the fucking trigger. Like she wasn't intending to fucking kill the guy or whatever. Like, she thought the barrel of it was jammed or whatever. But
Quack 4chan us.
I'm not gonna pull the video up on the fucking stream.
You can't. You can post that bitch on Discord.
Honestly, it doesn't matter whether it was manslaughter or murder. The only people who are left alive to prosecute are the parents who let the kids get a hold of the gun in the first place.
And there won't be any charges.
Now, I'm not saying, like, oh, don't never let your kids get a hold of a gun. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that this fucking demonstrates the importance of teaching your kid gun safety.
Absolutely.
If you teach your kid the right way to handle a gun, then you don't have to worry about shit like this. Or at least you don't have to worry as much. I'm not saying shit like this could never happen if you teach the kid gun safety, because kids are fucking dumb. But it makes it a lot less likely. Like, have some common sense. If you've got guns in the house, teach your kid how to safely use them. Do it in a controlled environment. Fucking let them go out and shoot under your supervision, and then they'll be less curious about it to mess with it when you're not around. The mystique and the lore goes away. It's just like fucking alcohol. If you let your kid have alcohol, they won't want as much of it. Like, if they sneak it, it's a lot better because they're getting away with shit. You know, if you fucking have them have a couple of beers and they're like, oh god, this tastes like shit, like, they're going to be less interested in it. I don't know. I think...
See, my family was the opposite. We were allowed to drink. It didn't matter as long as it was at home. We knew we were drinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a logical way to do it. Would you rather your kid fucking drink in some random place, or would you rather him get shit-faced drunk in your living room?
Right, exactly.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. Your parents weren't dumb. They knew you were going to do it anyways. See, I just wasn't supervised when I was a kid. I could just go out and do this shit. But not every kid has that level of independence. I mean, I don't know. I had freedoms a lot of kids would fucking dream about. But I also had to learn a lot of hard lessons the hard way. So take that for what you will, you know. So we had an armed Samaritan provide cover fire to rescue wounded deputies.
Hold on. Don't move on.
I just did. I mean,
but I just found
it. Well, yeah, post it in Discord. I'm not playing the footage on the stream. Like the algorithm hates me enough without fucking, you know, putting a video on my fucking live stream about 2 fucking kids killing themselves. And a bunch of people don't really want to see that anyways. Those who do, like, post it in general. Like, let them, like, the information is there if you want it. But in the interest of the sanity of future viewers, and not like fucking, I don't know, pissing off the algorithm more than I have to, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'll tell you where you can get the information, and I'm all about you having the information you want to have. It has been posted in Discord. It's right there on the very first channel you see when you join. So if you really want to find the video, there it is. That being said, the video is extremely fucking, like, fucked up.
graphic.
It is one of the most fucked up videos I've seen, and I've seen quite a few of them. It ranks up there, mainly because it's kids, but still. And that's another reason why I don't fucking bring it up, is because it's fucking kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the information's there if you want it, but you're gonna have to work a little bit harder to get it. Sorry. Join Discord. Everything...
I will say one thing, though. Like, I do agree, though, that she looked like it was basically like, oh fuck, bang. Like, she just decked herself.
Yeah, she had no idea what the fuck to do. And she was thinking that she was gonna fucking, like, her whole life was fucking gone because of that. And it very well could have been. Of course, due to that age, it also very well could have not been. She had no way of knowing that. And then to top that off, like, even if she didn't kill herself, how can you go to another family function again? Like, after you killed your cousin or whatever. Like yeah, they might still welcome you, and they might still be like, you know, yeah, come around, you know, this and that, and we forgive you or whatever. But how could you continue to, like, go to something like that without feeling guilty, you know? I don't know. Maybe maybe I have a different set of fucking morals and shit, but if I unintentionally killed a family member of mine, that would bother the fuck out of me. Now, if I was planning on killing them, that'd be something else entirely. I wouldn't have any remorse.
I mean, she thought about it really quick too, dude, because it wasn't seconds, not even 5 seconds after she shot him, she shot herself.
It's hard to say what was going on in her head. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in your head after you kill someone. Like, I don't know, talking from a little experience here, but there's a lot that goes on in your head. And it all goes through your head really fucking fast. And for quite a while, a bunch of that shit doesn't stop going through your head, you know? Fucking, I don't know. Killing somebody is kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. Even if you don't feel bad about it or whatever, like, you never quite stop thinking about it. You know? Like, you'll forever, if you kill somebody, you'll forever have that person's face etched into your mind permanently.
Oh, yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, but I got so many questions.
Well, I think it was bad parenting that those kids got a hold of that gun. And it was bad parenting that they didn't know how to safely handle that gun, because if they had been, you know, following the rules of gun safety, none of that would have happened.
Yeah. I hate to do it, guys, but I gotta get going.
Okay.
It's 1 a.m.
I think even more fucked up is that the parents seem to care more that the camera was alive than their kids just died.
Yeah.
It's like, because, I don't know, maybe they're thinking about how to cover their own ass or whatever. I don't know. They need to fucking go in front of a judge for that shit.
You're probably not wrong. At least answer as to why it was in the house and shit.
Somebody has to answer.
That was a fucking drum, too, dude. That wasn't just a fucking magazine.
Yeah. Somebody has to answer for this shit. Well, you can go to bed, you old fuck.
Yeah. Fucking old.
Don't be a stranger, dog.
I won't. I definitely won't. And I have Monday, Tuesday off, so I'll be hitting you up.
Alright.
Alright, man.
Because I need at least one person for a Kekfest. And part of the reason why I haven't been able to do it is because we all have conflicting work schedules and shit. And I never know when anybody works.
I'm off Monday, Tuesday. That doesn't change.
Okay.
My shit changes so fucking much, dude. Like, honestly, I don't even have, like, a consistent work schedule.
And then part of the reason why Kekfest doesn't happen is because sometimes I just don't be wanting to track a bunch of people down.
Right.
And I've been thinking about,
honestly,
like,
I don't mind just trying to make this like a once or twice a month thing instead of trying to do this every fucking week.
I've been thinking about fucking, like, setting up a fucking group chat, but then, like, y'all would start ignoring it, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do that.
I wouldn't ignore it, but I might not.
I don't think it would be any different than just trying to use Discord, to be honest.
Except everybody fucking ignores Discord, too.
Exactly.
I don't
the
get
point.
the pings anymore. I never ignored it, but I don't get the pings anymore.
I haven't been pinging people as much, because usually when I do, it takes like 2 days for me to get an answer. Whereas I can message someone on Facebook and get an answer within like 30 seconds.
All right, guys, I'm out of here. Bald guy and such.
Later.
Later.
So, we had an armed Samaritan provide cover fire to rescue wounded deputies. Peaceful Valley, Washington. I don't know that the valley is very peaceful if they're having to provide cover fire and shit, but whatever. The sheriff released more details about what led up to the shooting of 2 Whatcom County Sheriff's Office deputies on Thursday and thanked the good armed Samaritan who came to the wounded hero's aid and kept him safe until backup arrived. The Bellingham Police Department said the incident began about 3 p.m. February 10th when a homeowner started burning a trash pile outside their home and the smoke bothered a neighbor, Joel B. Young. Police said that Young became enraged and went outside and yelled at the neighbor burning trash, claiming that the smoke had blown through the windows and into his home. Okay, if I was him, I'd be kind of pissed too if that happened. The neighbor responded with an expletive, according to police. Young had been drinking.
Not an expletive.
The neighbor probably told him to fuck off, which is what I would have done if I was the neighbor. Hey, you're burning shit in my window. Yeah, go fuck yourself, buddy. Young had been drinking and became enraged, so he grabbed his shotgun, went inside, and fired birdshot into the air near the neighbor who was burning trash. He then went back inside to his home and had another beer. The neighbor called 911 and reported that Young was outside firing his 12 gauge into the air. 2 Whatcom County deputies responded to the address. When they arrived on the scene, when Young heard them announce themselves, he went outside yelling and waving a gun. Sheriff's office dropped the gun, deputies ordered Young. Young ignored the deputies' commands and instead decided to open fire on them. One deputy was shot in the head and fell to the ground.
Jesus Christ.
The second deputy put himself between Young and the wounded deputy and returned fire. Young opened fire on the second deputy and shot him too. He then retreated to a position of cover nearby. The police said that was when Good Samaritans, armed with their own weapons, stepped forward and fired multiple shots in the direction of Young to provide cover for and protect the wounded deputies. The Good Samaritans told the Associated Press that they were military veterans and they weren't going to sit still and watch law enforcement officers be murdered. So they took their children inside their homes and came out with their own guns. Other neighbors jumped in to assist the first Good Samaritan. They were able to pull the wounded deputies into a garage and out of the line of fire. The Good Samaritans immediately began performing first aid on the wounded heroes as they waited for the ambulance to arrive. Both wounded deputies were transported to a nearby hospitals for treatment as soon as backup arrived. The one deputy remained under observation at St. Joseph's Hospital, while the other was transferred to Harborview in Seattle for treatment by a specialist. Probably the one that got shot in the head. Usually that requires a specialist. Whatcom County Sheriff Bill Elfa said both deputies were in stable condition. Backup arrived from multiple law enforcement agencies, and Bellingham called the SWAT team in and surrounded Young's home. Young surrendered to the deputies a couple hours later and was taken into custody without incident. He was charged with two counts of first-degree attempted murder. The investigation is being held up by the Law Enforcement Mutual Aid Response Team and the Whatcom County Prosecutor's Office. You know what? The guys are going to be talking about that at the water cooler for a while. Especially the one that got shot in the head. I'm sorry. Being shot in the head and surviving gives you some bragging rights. Like, you've earned it. Let's see here. Martha is Dead is censored on PlayStation. Good thing I'm not a console plebe.
Fuck it.
I don't have an article on this, but it's something that just occurred to me. I'm trying to find, I think it was like Sarah Kavanaugh or something. Yeah. Okay, so it's not very, like, okay, every time, like every year there's a new stolen valor thing. And every year I'm thinking, like, there's no way somebody can top this. Last year was Jeremy DeWitt. Now, he didn't get arrested for stolen valor, but he certainly did steal a lot of valor.
Sergeant.
However, Jeremy DeWitt has been one-upped.
Where is Deputy Dum Dum?
Right now he is residing in the Orange County Correctional Center.
Bryce is in jail?
Oh no, I don't know where Bryce is. I haven't heard from him lately.
I was about to say, like, damn.
DeWitt is in jail. Thought that's what you were asking about. Okay, so I'm going to summarize this story for you before I read the article, okay?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite YouTubers, Angry Cops, did not one, but two fucking hilarious videos about it.
That's the dude that's the drill sergeant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love him. So, Sarah Kavanaugh fucking posed as a Marine. To the point where she, like, somehow got a hold of a Marine's DD-214.
Okay.
That's the paper you get when you get out of the Marines.
Right, I know what a DD-214 is.
Well, you do, but maybe there's somebody watching who doesn't.
Oh, fair.
She edited that guy's DD-214 to, like, put her information in.
That's got to be, like, massively illegal.
So now she was like, she went from being Sarah Kavanaugh to Staff Sergeant Sarah Kavanaugh.
And she made herself a staff? Oh, yeah, no, she definitely fucked up.
Oh, that's not even... That's just the beginning. Like, the plot thickens. in a truly offensive, at least to me, and incredible way. And I even said, like, I commented on Angry Cop's video. Something to the effect of, I'm not sure whether I am more offended or impressed. Because I was, like, both of those feelings are very strong. So, she has this forged DD-214.
Okay.
And I don't remember the order that everything happened in, but here's all the stuff that she managed to do with this forged DD-214.
Okay.
She got a job at the VFW as or at the American Legion as like a post commander.
With the American Legion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, no joke.
No joke. She got a job working for the VA as a social worker, where she proceeded to use her position to steal more information. She used her access to all this, like, sensitive information to fucking enriching her fucking stolen valor hustle even more. She took roughly 230, I think somewhere to the tune of $238,000 from all the different charities, claiming that she had cancer and she had like fucking injuries and all this other shit.
I just want to point out that, like, I know what the American Legion is because I was in the Sons of American Legion. And I know how much of a bitch it is just to join that. And you're telling me she managed to get paid?
She managed to become a post commander.
Homie, you know how hard it was for me to even just get to, like, a sergeant at arms position for the Sons of American Legion?
Like, and we're talking about, like, the post commander is like the big cheese of the post.
I'm telling you, I know that because I was in the Sons of American Legion. I know that.
Well, not everybody watching does. Like, that's the top dog.
Yeah, that's top shit.
That's like going...
Those motherfuckers are not only in charge of the American Legion, but for that post, they are also in charge of the Auxiliary Legion, which is for all the women, meaning, like, you know, wives, daughters, granddaughters, you know, and then, you know, they're also in charge of the Sons of American Legion, which are for sons and grandsons.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, and it pisses me off as a vet, but it also impresses me.
Yeah, no, I'm mad impressed, but I'm also like, what the fuck?
The part that upsets me the most is that she took almost $250,000 from various charities. Like, claiming that she had, like, a cancer diagnosis and all this other shit. Just, I'll tell you, whenever you get around to it, just look up Angry Cop's Stolen Valor. He fucking, like, he goes into it a lot better than I possibly can. And it's also highly entertaining. The way he fucking delivers his shit. Anyways, so the FBI ended up fucking kicking her door down. Woman charged with pretending to be a Marine veteran and defrauding veterans organizations. A Rhode Island woman and former Veteran Affairs Medical Center employee has been charged in federal court with defrauding veterans charities after claiming to be a U.S. Marine Corps veteran with stage 4 cancer. Oh, and to top that off, She fucking faked her cancer paperwork so good that actual fucking cancer doctors believed it was real. That's another thing that fucking Angry Cops pointed out in his video. Sarah Kavanaugh was arrested after an investigation into allegations of fraud. Upon her arrest, she was charged with using or exhibiting a falsified military discharge certificate, wire fraud, fraudulently presenting herself as a recipient of a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star with Valor, with the intent to obtain money or other tangible benefits, and aggravated identity theft.
So I just want to point out, like, as much as this is pissing everybody off, I just want to say, like, her fucking, like, her skills in this, like, in all of this is, like, this is mad impressive.
Oh, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that she has talent. She obviously has talent. Like, she knows what the fuck she's doing.
Like, this bitch could have been doing some real shit, but no, she chose to be out here defrauding fucking vets.
It's too bad she didn't fucking actually join and become like an intel person.
Honestly.
3 of these charges carry
she could have been in, like, the CIA or some shit.
3 of these charges carry maximum penalties of 1 to 2 years imprisonment, with the maximum sentence for wire fraud being 20 years. Each of these charges also have fines of between $100,000 and $250,000. Now, honestly, I think if we can, I think the judge should sentence her with the 10 years that she spent pretending to be a vet. 10 years in prison. And at a minimum, $250,000 to fucking pay back the fucking charities. According to court documents, Kavanaugh defrauded over $200,000 from various organizations by claiming to be a Marine veteran who developed stage 4 cancer, which led to various organ cancers as a result of her combat service. However, there is no record of her ever serving in the U.S. military. Amongst the veteran organizations affected by Kavanaugh's alleged actions, we have the Wounded Warrior Project, which gave her $207,000 for physical therapy and groceries. A fundraising website provided her with $4,700. The Code of Support Foundation paid her $18,500. She also used the money to purchase a gym membership and pay her mortgage and other bills and repair her home's furnace. Suspicion arose surrounding Kavanaugh's claims in January of 2022 after she sought funds from the Hunter 7 Foundation, a nonprofit that focuses on veteran advocacy and cancer research. She provided the organization with VA medical records, hospital bills, and a copy of her DD-214 separation document. After Hunter 7 posted Kavanaugh's story to its Instagram account, Lieutenant Commander Amy Forsyth, a Naval Reserve public affairs officer who spent 18 years in the Marine Corps, noticed several inconsistencies. These included issues with her uniform, her collar being backwards and her earrings being out of regulation, and the fact that she never heard of Kavanaugh or that she'd been awarded a Purple Heart or a Bronze Star for Valor, despite her claims. Forsyth informed Hunter 7 of this, and they immediately canceled a check that had been sent to Kavanaugh. According to court documents, it is alleged that Kavanaugh copied the medical records of a real patient under the care of the VA medical office she worked at up until the end of January, where they also allege that she used her work email to obtain the Purple Heart and Bronze Star displayed on the uniform on a Marine uniform she owned. A judge signed a federal warrant in February allowing the police to conduct a raid of her residence. During it, they seized several laptops, cell phones, and USB devices, as well as notebooks, a firearm, clothing, and other personal belongings. She was arraigned on March 14th in the U.S. District Court for Rhode Island. During arraignment, the Assistant Attorney Ronald Grendon described Kavanaugh as somebody who could be so cold-hearted as to purport to be cancer-stricken ex-Marine. If anything seems that was out there, any pot of money she placed her hands on, she used fraud to acquire it. So, anyways, I keep on thinking that these fucking stolen valor people won't outdo themselves.
But then they do.
And then every time I think that, I am proven wrong. And then I feel like an idiot. Personally, I didn't think that it would be even I didn't think it would have been possible to get that far. I'm a legitimate veteran, and I have a hard enough time getting the shit that I need. Imagine trying to fraudulently get it. People like her are probably why people like me can't get the shit we need. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to go through some of this fucking article, if I can find it. This GM thing. I absolutely fucking hate GM now. And there's only 2 GM vehicles that I will buy post 2008. And the only reason I'll buy them is because nobody else makes anything like them. But there's a lot of GM vehicles that I previously wanted and liked that have been taken off of the list of vehicles that I like because of this shit. When taxpayers footed a $50 billion bill for the bailout of General Motors in 2009, few could have guessed that the biggest of the Detroit Big Three, GM, Chrysler, Ford, would go on to import Chinese cars to the United States. Yet, 7 years after its publicly funded and highly politicized rescue, GM says it will do exactly that. Early next year, the automaker will begin shipping the Chinese-made Buick Envision crossovers over the Pacific for sale at U.S. dealerships, with a plug-in hybrid version of the Cadillac CTS-6 flagship sedan to follow. Anybody who believed that the GM bailout would create a bulwark against long-feared flood of Chinese cars might be puzzled to find that the very same automaker is championing Chinese imports. In fact, this move is the latest in a pattern that dates back to 2009, when GM received a secretive Chinese bailout that appears to have turned America's largest automaker into a Trojan horse for his Chinese partner. In his 2011 book, American Wheels, Chinese Roads, author Michael Dunn explores GM's profound success in the Chinese market, dating back to the founding of its 1995 Shanghai GM partnership with the Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, SAIC. He describes the relationship between the two firms as being mutually beneficial through the early 2000s. But when the 2008 downturn brought GM to the point of bankruptcy, the partnership took a troubling turn, because the U.S. Auto Task Force refused to let GM spend TARP aid on its foreign operations. GM was forced to turn to SAIC for help. The resulting deal would forever alter the delicate balance of power in the Shanghai GM joint venture and drive GM to restructure its entire global strategy around its partnership with the Shanghai Automotive Corporation. GM's Asian market woes in 2009 centered around its Korean operations, then known as GM Daewoo Automotive Technology. Once GM's global homeroom for engineering and exporting low-cost small cars for developing markets, including China, GMDAT ran into a serious cash flow problem when it lost $1.5 billion in foreign exchange alone in the first quarter of 2009. With GM headed towards bankruptcy, the U.S. government rescuers unwilling to pay for overseas problems, credit markets largely frozen by the financial crisis that was happening in that time, and the Korean Development Bank refusing to extend its loans beyond the $2 billion already owed to it, GM's only option was to turn to its Chinese partner for liquidity. By mid-November 2009, GM suddenly had $491 million to spend on GMDAT's turnaround. But it wasn't immediately clear where the money had come from. That December, the first details emerged. GM had sold 1% of Shanghai GM to the Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, giving the Chinese partner a controlling stake in the venture. It also turned its struggling GM India division into a joint venture, with Shanghai receiving 50% take in return for an additional investment of $350 million. At the time, GM executives said that the deal would allow Shanghai to consolidate earnings from the joint venture, and that in exchange it had helped GM achieve some funding from other activities from the Chinese banking sector, which would have been difficult to do on our own. In its 2010 year-end SEC filing, GM eventually clarified that SAIC had helped it secure a $400 million commercial bank loan with its stake in Shanghai GM as collateral. The token $85 million price that Shanghai paid for the golden share in Shanghai GM was the first sign that there was more to the deal than met the eye. In a business culture that obsesses on guangxi, or the favor economy, Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation's assistance at GM, the moment of desperation, was a favor of epic proportions and one that would require significant strategic compensation, as Dune points out. China's joint venture auto industry strategy had easily identifiable goals. Step 1. Form joint ventures with leading global car makers. Step 2. Absorb the foreign partners' technology related to car design, engineering, and manufacturing. And step 3. Build cars under China's own brand name. With the upper hand on its bankrupt partner, Shanghai Automotive Industrial Corporation had the leverage to make serious headway on this agenda. GM would eventually buy back the golden share, but not before Shanghai received a controlling stake in the joint venture's sales company. But even this significant advantage didn't square the bill. In the years following the golden share deal, GM began paying Shanghai back on the strategic terms laid out by the Chinese industrial policy. Starting in 2010, GM began an unprecedented wave of technology transfers and joint development that would tie the two firms closer than ever and put the century-old automaker on an increasingly level footing with its upstart Chinese partner. GM announced that it would jointly develop its next generation of global small gas engines and first ever dual clutch transmissions, along with Shanghai at the R&D facility the two firms had established in Shanghai. At the same time, it signed a memo of understanding agreeing to the long-term strategic cooperation on new energy vehicles. The Chinese government's term for plug-in hybrid and pure electric vehicles at a time when rising emission regulations around the world were making fuel-efficient electrified vehicle technology critical to the future of every automaker. GM was tying that future to its Chinese partner, with GM now importing its top-of-the-line Cadillac CT6 plug-in hybrid from its Chinese joint venture plant. That future has already begun to arrive. Even in GM's current core technology suddenly began appearing at the head of its Chinese partner. The 2010 Chevrolet New Sail was described as the first passenger car to be jointly developed entirely with China. But under its own skin lay the Gamma 2 platform that still underpins GM's subcompact offerings, like the Chevrolet Spark, the Sonic, and the Trax. By 2012, Shanghai Automotive Industrial Corporation developed vehicles using GM's Delta II compact and Epsilon midsize platforms, giving it access to all three of GM's global car platforms. That year, they also launched their first vehicle with a dual-clutch transmission, the Roe 550, beating its 100-year-old partner to the punch. Within just 3 years of the golden share deal, Shanghai appeared to be pulling ahead of GM technologically. Fuck. But success in China required more than the latest technology, and GM shifted its low-cost developing market focus from Korea to Shanghai. A three-way joint venture between Shanghai Automotive and GM and Wuling had began rapidly expanding sales of its Spartan microvans, and in 2011 it burst into the mainstream with its own vehicle based off of the GM J platform, the Baojun 630. In 2012, Baojun brand began producing its own version of the Chevrolet Spark. It has since added a subcompact SUV and MPV based off of its own jointly developed platform. Nearly 1 out of every 4 GM cars sold in China is now a Baojun. But just as 44% partner in Shanghai, GM Wuling, GM's share of profits is even thinner than at Shanghai GM. With Shanghai Automotive enjoying the upper hand in China and jointly running GM's business in India, another shift took place in the relationship. GM began rebadging its partnered Chinese brand vehicles for export markets. Exports of the Chevrolet branded Wuling vans began as early as 2008, and the export of complete knockdown kits for assembly in GM plants around the world had accelerated after the golden share deal. Baojun 630, which had been planned as an export model, was rebadged for export to a variety of developing markets as the Chevy Optra. That year, GM's global exports of Chinese cars exceeded 100,000 units. And let me fucking get my music going again. Alright, it exceeded 100,000 units, and when asked if Chinese-made cars might someday be sold in the U.S., the U.S. GM China President Bob Socia replied, "It could very well happen." The alignment. I really hope all your people at work are paying attention to this, Jamie, because this is fucking big. The alignment of GM and Shanghai Automotive's global strategy had culminated in their announcement of a jointly developed new architecture that will underpin all of GM's cars sold outside of Europe and the US. Between this platform and the jointly developed small gas engine family, the line between GM and Shanghai Automotive will have been all but erased in the majority of the world's markets. This not only means that GM will have to share all future growth market profits with Shanghai Automotive, but it will also mean the end of royalty payments that GM once earned for every car built using its engines and architectures. In every market with a strong future volume growth potential, GM's unique advantages with respect to newly empowered partners have been whittled down to the brands it uses to gloss over any stigma around Chinese products. The importation of the Buick Envision will be the first major U.S. market impact of the GM's Chinese realignment. But at GM's outposts in Korea and Australia, the pain is being felt far more directly. In 2013, General Motors announced that it would end all production at its Australian division Holden, replacing the fiercely independent development and production center with a lineup of imported models. As late as 2003, GM executives said Holden's last unique vehicle was the Commodore, which was imported to the U.S. as the 2004 to 2006 Pontiac GTO, could be exported to China by 2017. The fact that the car will in fact be made in China and then exported to Australia, where all that remains of Holden is a sales and service operation. GM DAT was renamed GM Korea in 2011 to reflect its heightened status in global operations of GM, according to GM's official announcement. But the name change seemed to have the exact opposite effect, having once provided the core technology behind many of GM's most successful China market products. GM Korea has lost its status as GM's emerging market homeroom to Shanghai, GM's new joint emerging market vehicle platform in 2013. When GM decided to stop selling the Chevrolet brand in Europe, a market that accounted for more than 20% of GM Korea's production, disappeared almost overnight. Having kept GM Korea afloat for years with billions in Korea development bank loans, Koreans now find themselves swallowing bitter layoffs and preparing for plant closures. Across Asia, there are more signs of Shanghai Automotive's rise. GM's Indonesia operations are being replaced by a SGM Wulang plant. GM canceled a planned expansion in Thailand after Shanghai Automotive entered the market with a different partner. And GM moved the last remnants of its dwindling international operations to Singapore. Shanghai Automotive did reduce its stake in GM India to just 7%, but only in 2012, but only because of, according to GM's Socia, Shanghai Automotive was ready to compete with GM since both companies will soon be offering the same family of emerging market vehicles they are developing together in Shanghai. Shanghai Automotive's confidence is hardly surprising, with GM and jointly developed technology already underpinning its lineup of cars. Bearing the classic British MG Morris Garages brand, and Shanghai Automotive is also pushing into markets like Australia and UK, where GM has been in retreat for years. Thanks to the unprecedented access to GM's infrastructure, technology, brands, and corporation in the wake of the golden share deal, Shanghai Automotive has become the fastest growing automaker in the world by market value. GM's latest products and platforms debut in China before other markets, and its $12 billion 3-year investment plan for China is more than twice the $5.4 billion allocated for the US market over the same period. The fact that Korea and Australia have taken the brunt of GM's China-centric restructuring, prove that GM has long relied on overseas operations to supplement the products and profits generated in its home market. But American taxpayers should be aware that years of public assistance from the Australian government and the Korean Development Bank did not prevent GM from moving development and production jobs to China. A comforting myth that government aid can halt GM's strategic myth to China has simply not been borne out. If the U.S. consumers don't bridle at the presence of Chinese-made Buicks at their local dealerships, it seems that GM will now continue to favor its dominant partner with a growing share of U.S. market profits. Along with new United Auto Workers contracts, rising U.S. wages, and an expected Federal Reserve rate hike, potentially raising the value of the dollar, Chinese imports will only become more cost competitive. Though GM may never become a fully Chinese company on paper, it will continue to integrate with and be eclipsed by its Easter-wild Chinese protege, having relied on the guangxi of a Chinese partner. While in a position of desperation, GM could be repaying the favor forever. And until the U.S. market can offer the growth opportunities China does, our 2009 investment, like our bailout, will never pay off anywhere near as handsomely. So, yeah. I will post the video. It's like a podcast about it. I'll post it on the Facebook and on Discord for anybody interested. The guy talks about a lot of the same stuff that I talked about. And he talks about some of the ramifications that come with it. I would encourage you guys to, like, really, I don't normally be plugging other people's shit. If you're genuinely interested in this fucking ordeal, I'd really encourage you to listen to that guy's podcast. That being said, Quack, do you have any opinions on this?
Bing bong.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing. I don't...
Honestly, dude, like, I don't know. To me, like, the only thing I don't like is just the fact that, like, I know if it's made in China, it's gonna be a piece of shit. Which kind of, like, honestly ruins Chevys and, you know, all those cars for me now.
Oh, not the fact that our dollars are going over there and they, like, are trying to be sneaky about it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's also some way that we're doing that to them.
Nobody's fucking talking about this, you know? And
well,
I feel
like, I'm sure we're fucking them somehow, so I'm sure it evens out.
We're not fucking them we're not fucking them anywhere near as bad as this is fucking us. Like
maybe in this particular thing, maybe this is making up for a different thing we're fucking them over on.
The main reason fucking GM was bailed out in the first goddamn place is because Chevy has been an American icon for fucking way longer than any of us have been alive.
Well, no shit.
And I don't know. They don't have that status anymore. Well, I don't think they should.
Well, tough shit.
And I don't know. It pisses me off. And there's only like 2 fucking GM cars that I'll buy now.
And what's that?
Well, I still want the fucking Caprice PPV.
Okay.
And I still want a Corvette.
What, no Pontiac Firebird or anything like that?
Well, I don't know that I'm going to count old school muscle cars into this. China doesn't profit off of old school muscle cars.
Pontiac's GM, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't totally botch that joke.
Like, my thing is that I don't want China profiting off of my having to go to, like, O'Reilly's and get a part. Or go to the service center. Like, oh yeah, I gotta take my new Corvette into Chevy to get fucking, I don't know, the head gasket changed. Or, oh God, I hope not.
It's not a Corvette, it's a Corvette.
Like, you know, like I don't know. Say I gotta get my fucking, intake manifold or some bullshit changed. Like, oh, you know, at one point we had that fact that, okay, well, at least like these parts are, you know, mostly, at least they're not made in the United States, but they're at least made in North America. And now we don't even fucking have that. You know? Like I could take at one point in time I could take solace in the fact that I could buy an OEM part and not have it be a Chinese piece of shit. So you know, I still want a Corvette and I still want a fucking Caprice PPV. But the likelihood of my buying a Caprice PPV is even less now. The likelihood of my buying a Corvette is not, because if I buy a Corvette, it's probably going to end up being a C4 because I'm too fucking broke to get anything else. And the C4 was made well before all this shit happened. And mostly every part I'm going to buy for it, if I need parts, it's going to be aftermarket. So I'd rather buy from something that's manufactured in Taiwan or Malaysia or India or whatever than buy from fucking China. Like, normally I don't give a shit where something's made, but in this particular instance I do. In this particular instance, I do. Because I feel very strongly that GM should be an American fucking company, and it's not. Like, prior to this, overall, Chevy was my favorite American brand. Like, if I had to pick one of the three, like some people do, where they're like, oh, I'm a Chevy guy, I'm a Ford guy, or whatever, you'd think I'd probably pick Ford. But no, I had to pick Chevy. But not anymore.
He said, now I'm a Dodge, man.
Not anymore. No, I'm going to have to, well, mostly I'm going to have to go Team Blue now.
Oh, he's going Ford?
I'm going to have to go Ford now, at least for trucks.
Honestly, I've always liked Ford trucks.
And for fucking sports cars, I'm going to have to go with Dodge.
What group does Dodge belong to?
Dodge.
Oh.
Like, they own Chrysler? Or maybe maybe Chrysler owns them?
I think Chrysler owns them.
But I think Dodge makes a better car than Ford.
The basically Charger over Mustang, but fucking F250 over fucking 2500.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had experience with the newer Ford trucks, and I'm not saying that the Dodge trucks are bad. I don't fucking know. But but I know that I've had experience with the newer Ford trucks. So I'm mainly going with Ford because that's what I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know what I've been able to do with my F-150. When I was working for that tower company, I had a 2020 F-150. And I did some shit in that truck, man. And maybe the Dodges could have fucking handled it, but I don't know. I don't know though. I'm not a big fan of the style of the 2021 and later F-150s. They came out with like this new body style that I don't really like. I think stylistically speaking, I think Dodge has a better looking truck. If that makes any sense.
No, it does.
And I'm not sure whose camp I'm in when it comes to SUVs. I used to be all about that Chevy Tahoe life, but now I'm not.
Well, I mean, you know, Ford has a few. You know, they've got the Explorer, they've got the Expedition, and they've got the Bronco.
I don't count the Bronco as anything.
Dodge has the Durango. It has.
Well, I'm thinking the Explorer and the Durango are the SUVs. Like
I was going to say, I can't think of any other ones.
They're like the flagship SUVs.
Right.
For those companies.
Right.
And I'm not sure which one I like better performance-wise. I think stylistically the Durango is better.
I was getting ready to say, I've always been more of a Durango person myself.
I think the police variants of the Explorers look pretty badass, but the civilian, I mean the Durangos look badass without having to be a police variant on Dodge. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna have to fucking get some sleep eventually.
Oh, thank God, dude. I have been trying to fucking figure out how I was gonna ask you to fucking wrap this bitch up.
So I'm probably gonna fucking have to wrap this bitch up. I will see you all in the next Kekfest. I'm not gonna make any promises when it's gonna happen. It's kinda, I don't know. I need at least one other person here to bounce shit off of. I don't want to sit here and fucking, I don't know, talk to an empty room.
Which is fair.
I will see you all in the next one. Until then, peace out. Fuck off. Have a good night. I guess you guys in Canada can... What do they do in Canada? What do you guys...
Maple trees?
You guys like circle jerk each other and use maple syrup as lubricant or something? I don't know.
No, that's not allowed. We don't do lube here.
We don't do lube here, but they might in Canada. Anyways, I will see you bastards on the next one. Until then, peace out, fuck off. I'm out, bitches.